Wow, this took an awful long time. What the hell is that doing there? I don't even know. It has been a while. Let's see if anybody even pops in. Don't know. They will. What is that? I don't even know. Let's see. It's too late at night for all this BS. I gotta say. Oh man. Oh, Maximus Silver Seeker is doing a coin roll hunt. Wait. I gotta pause this. Oh, Maximus Silver Seeker. Okay. Then, come on. Yeah, you think you can work with me here? I doubt anybody is in chat right now, but if you are, my apologies. It's been a few weeks since I've done this, and it seems like they've changed a few things around on me. I used to be able to go right here and pop out the chat, and whatevs. John Jacobs, what's going on, brother? I can't pop out the chat, but I can say, hey, Ro. What's going on, man? It's been a while, and I haven't streamed in a bit. I just haven't had the energy. Honestly, I got sick off my last trip, and I have no excuse. I've been tremendously bored with it all. By the 68. I just got a bunch of coins from Daughtry that look really nice, but they're nothing special. But I'll put it under the scope here. Daryl USA, how's it going, man? John Jacobs, been buying Canadian old stuff. You're talking like the 80% old stuff? Yeah, it'd be cool to know what you guys are going through. We've been through a up and down, slide and spot value, but I hope you guys don't take spot value to heart. What a crock of bullshit the spot value is. I've come a long way in my year and a half doing this, and one of the things I realized when it was after I started collecting coins that I realized it is I don't know a goddamn thing about money. Not a damn thing about money. And so I started, looking into it. And you guys know I have a master's degree. I didn't do that well in macroeconomics, and that's because I was high most of the time. I have to be honest. I was high through macroeconomics. It's not like I'm not smart enough to understand it. I just, at the time, what was it, 1998? I wasn't that interested in it. All right, sue me. So I started looking into how money was made and what they do, what the central bank does with the banking system. And, man, hey, Jack Gallman, how's it going, man? Who else is in here? I have to go back. I don't have my normal YouTube chat up here. Oh, John Jacob says, and I'm crazy's in the house. What's up? 0.925 as well. That's sterling, right? Sterling silver. Cool. So yeah, you guys, hold on a second. Let me invite anybody who wants to come up. I just want to have a conversation tonight. It's been a little bit. You guys are more than welcome to come up if you want to. Otherwise, it'll just be me talking to myself. The point of the matter is, happy hump day. And the only coin that I really have here, it's been strategically resealed, is that 1/10 ounce gold. I don't know if I'm going to send it for grading or not. I still have to consider it. I think it would be a proof 69. And a proof 69 is essentially worthless. I mean, I'm not going to say worthless. It's worth the amount of money I paid for it, I'm not concerned about gold dropping. Wait, is Siren Silver Stash in the house? Siren Silver Stash, many hearts. Much love to you, sweetheart. Honestly, there weren't too many people streaming tonight, so I thought it might be a good idea to come on. Hey, Robert Worley, how's it going, man? Oh, we got the best here. Awesome. Anyway, I put up a post for, if anybody wants to come up, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, it's just going to be me like rambling on about things that I believe. This is the here. Hold on. I gotta keep this chat up. No, that's gonna go over there. If I go here, is that gonna ruin my stream? I don't think so. Damn. Bear with me. I'm working on a new system here. Here we go. Let's put that in the top right, left corner, something like that. See, y'all know I went on vacation, and I got back from vacation, and then I got sick. And I have already had COVID. I had it in April of 2020. And then I had to wait 90 days to get a vaccine shot. So I got the vaccine. So I'm feeling pretty bulletproof and 10 foot tall, go down to Disney, and I come back and then I get sick. I could smell stuff, so I'm pretty sure it is just a cold. But if it's the Delta variant, that's essentially what that's going to be anyway, in my opinion. So, if I have the Delta variant, I'm just kind of staying away from people so they don't get sick. Anyway, I did get something new today in the mail. I'll share with you guys. Silver Scorpion's in the house. What's up? Shot doesn't help the D variant. Maybe, maybe not. Because I've already had COVID and because I already had basically what I would call a booster shot when I got the vaccine, I'm pretty sure these sniffles is the worst it's going to get. And so, in a sense, the D variant is it's decreased its effectiveness against me because my immune system's already kind of like ready for it. If I didn't have COVID, I didn't have a vaccine, I'm sure I'd be whooped right now. But I feel pretty good. I'm having a drink. I'm having a good time. I'm meeting ladies. What can I say? I'm not going to be upset about it. It's all over the place. And so, I'm right there with it. At this point in time, we're all going to get it. It's just the time has passed for us to do anything about it. The time has passed. So now we just have to evolve with this damn thing, this lab-created monstrosity. And I could say that shit because I'm not monetized on YouTube. I don't give a fuck. Sorry. It's lab created. Gain of function research needs to be banned. The human ingenuity is a fantastic thing, but when it crosses a certain point, it's time to get rid of it. Silvers is just laughing his ass off. And feel free to come up and laugh your ass off, man. What's backstage? Okay. Here. Vaders is backstage. Let me add you to the stream. What's going on, Vaders? Who are you? Introduce yourself.
Everybody knows me. This is Robert.
Oh, Robert Worley. What's going on, man? I don't know the screen name.
I'm the only one with the Flycon.
How's it going, man?
Going good. How you doing, brother?
Oh, just getting over probably the Delta variant. But there's going to be an Epsilon variant. There's going to be a Zeta variant. There's going to be all kinds of variants, So get ready to have a lot of colds.
Well, I'm not too worried about it. My immune system's really strong. I haven't had a cold or the flu in a decade.
Good. I hope it stays that way. A lot of people aren't as lucky as us because I feel the same way. I feel blessed. I have a strong immune system. I take care of myself. I don't have any underlying conditions. But I feel sorry for the sad sons of bitches that aren't so lucky, Oh,
yeah. But I think we wound up with it, the original strain, back in like February of 2020.
Oh, no, it was before then. I remember getting sick in 2019, right around December 15th of 2019. I remember distinctly at Planet Fitness, I was working out like crazy, and then something entered my nostril. And it sounds stupid, right? It sounds stupid as hell. Something entered my nostril into my nasal cavity, and holy shit, dude, it hit me. I was running like a beast, and suddenly I had no energy.
Weird.
I felt it like in my brain. It was in my nasal cavity and everything. And I was laid out for like a week and a half watching everything transpire on TV. Oh, China's going crazy. China with this, this virus.
Well, right. It is, that's what most people don't understand is that it actually escaped in September.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And in October, they removed everybody and started trying to clean up the lab. That's why it's a cell phone blackout from everybody that worked there.
Oh, this whole World Health Organization, theory that it came from bats is absolutely right. Yeah, it came from bats, but it came from bats that were in a lab that they were experimenting on, and it got out.
Well, exactly. The horseshoe bat isn't found for 900 kilometers from Wuhan. And that's where they got the, they're not in that region.
And I haven't even explored that. It's just everybody knows. I mean, the not everybody, but the truth of the matter is this is completely and totally lab created, funded by the U.S. government. Now, the point is, I don't know if it was done on purpose to have a boon windfall for the pharmaceutical companies, right?
Right. You look
to increase GDP or something like that. God forbid they would do something like that, though. They would do something like that.
Well, Bill Gates has his hands in one of those viruses or in one of the vaccines.
Bill Gates is a goon. I can't stand that motherfucker. I'm sorry.
Right? That's what but that's what I'm saying. When you got people like that are trying to push this vaccine that's experimental and not approved, I've got a little bit of an issue with it.
Well, I had the vaccine, and you know how it affected me? Nothing. Not
Yeah, a
one
lot of
side effect.
people,
Not one side effect at all.
but there are a lot of people that have had side effects.
But at the same time, I wonder about those lot of people, because let me tell you something. United States of America is a very sick country.
Oh yeah,
I mean, we are sick. You see the amount of obese people out there, sickly obese, mentally ill. I don't really necessarily trust that either. Their self-reporting is suspect. You know what I mean?
And well, everybody's shutting down any alternative treatments. Can't talk about those.
Well, it's a goddamn coronavirus, man. It's like it's descended from the virus that caused the common cold, right?
Right. The common cold is a cold virus. Yes.
Yes.
It's basically common cold for the horseshoe bat that they have made transmissible to humans through their gain of function research.
Why is it called the common cold? It's not because it's not dangerous. Don't think that it's called the common cold because it's not dangerous.
Oh, it's dangerous. It's definitely dangerous.
It's definitely dangerous. It's called the common cold because it's highly transmissible, right? Highly communicable.
Yep. It's
so easily contagious that the person next to you could pick it up in the subway. And there's no cure for it because it mutates so frequently, it's not cost effective to create a vaccine for it. So anybody with half a brain would know when they're talking about a vaccine, they would say, listen, the vaccine is not to cure this fucker. The vaccine is to make sure that the hospital system doesn't get overwhelmed with cases.
It's an attempt to get effects, yes.
Silver Scorpion, that's cool. Go run, come back if you can, man. Good to have you in here. I'm sorry, I'm trying to look at the chat,
Oh, no, I understand. I sit here and watch chat most of the time too.
Yeah, Jack Gallman. Yeah, they are definitely making fun of it. I don't trust any of them either. I've always said that politicians, and you guys know me. You guys think I'm conservative, I'm liberal, whatever label you want to put on it. I'm a people person, right? I want power to the people. The fact of the matter is somebody's making money on all this stuff, and the general rule is to follow the money. Yep. you want to go and find out who caused what. Follow the money. Who's making the money in all this? It's not you. Yep. Right? It's not me. I'm not making money.
I sure ain't.
Yeah, it's really it's the government who I realized today, and I'm very interested to know, what your thoughts are on this, because the government, in my opinion, is selling short. It's selling short its own treasuries. It's like it's doing that, and then it's doing stock buybacks. It's on its own bonds. It's giving. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. And hey, Rhonda, great to see you. It's doing like stock buybacks of its own treasuries by printing money, sending it out to the Fed releasing it to the big banks. And it's like it with the reverse repo market, it's buying back what it put into the market.
Yeah, and that's going to make our currency basically worthless.
Hey, Carrie Baxter, I haven't seen you in a while either. It's so good to see you.
That's why silver stacking is so important, especially, in my opinion, constitutional silver, specifically dimes and quarters, because they're easier to spend. People recognize.
Let's get into that in a little bit, because I think you're right. I'm not going to mince words about it. I definitely think you're right. Silver stacking is very important, but I don't know if it's totally for that complete purpose. But what I want to say is that the most important thing is patience. Hey, Amanda C. Patience is the most important thing right now. I started to get very frustrated with the market maybe about a month ago. And you guys all probably haven't seen me in about a month, right?
Yes.
And I'm thinking to myself, the silver thing is bunk. It's a joke. It's like people talking it up. It's it's not an investment. It's bullshit.
Well,
Even my own research, and bear with me, I'm going to let you talk in a second here. But even my own research pointed toward the stock market doing better than metals, right? But then I had a realization. But I'm going to let you talk. What do you have to say about that?
well, my main point is the actual usefulness of silver. And especially with everybody trying to go green and all these electronic vehicles and everything, they are 100% reliant on silver. Gold could be done away with, but silver can't. Silver is used in medicine. It's used in solar panels, and all the batteries and
Mirrors,
exactly.
solar panels.
Yeah, silver has usefulness. Gold's pretty, but it's not as useful as silver.
Yep. But what people don't realize is the digits, the power behind the Fed and the central banks to sell the commodity short. They might lose 10% on the commodity, but that's no fucking problem for them.
Right.
Because they're going to gain it back when they buy it back after the next fall and still earn 25 to 50 to whatever percent. It's us. It's the little person who has to stand by and watch inflation go up 5%, 10%. We have, let's say you have 100 ounces of silver that you're sitting on, right? And your income is stagnant. I mean, hell, income, the federal minimum wage, and God forbid you make federal minimum wage, but it hasn't increased since George W. Bush. $7.25 an hour, right? So let's say, God forbid, you've amassed a couple ounces of silver or gold and you're making a minimum wage. And suddenly inflation hits, which it has. You know it. I know it. You can't earn enough money to make ends meet. So suddenly you've got to sell your silver and gold, right?
Unfortunately, it happens to a lot of people, yeah.
Happens to a lot of people. It goes back into the system. I mean, and who's buying physical silver and gold in mass? I'm not talking 100 ounces. I'm not talking 200 ounces. I'm talking 1,000,000 ounces.
Place that can is the governments. And they're artificially controlling the price of the market.
That's right. So all I got to say is patience is a virtue. You've got to buy your silver and gold, your physical stuff. You got to put it away and secure it. And you got to knuckle down and make as much money as you possibly can so you don't have to worry about the stresses of the market and inflation. I mean, talking second job, another gig, whatever you have to do, but hang on to that physical. That's all I have to say. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree that it needs to be hoarded as much as possible for when it's necessary to use it. And I'm talking it's going to have to get bad before I start spending my dimes and quarters.
Yeah,
Some of the
right.
high pieces, some of the collector's pieces that I've paid a premium on, I don't have an issue with reselling those. But
Ahoy, Sea Monkey Metals. Welcome to the
I,
chat, man.
I don't want to
Feel
get rid
free.
of any of my dimes or quarters.
You know, I've got tons of stuff. Like in this box right here is the 2021 Type 2. Wait, hold on. American Gold Eagle proof.
Oh, nice.
And, it's still sealed in the package, except I took it out. I had to look at it. It's beautiful. It's probably a proof 69, though,
You
right?
should show us. We'd love to see it.
You want to see it?
Heck yeah.
Put one in chat if you want to see it, you guys. I'll tell you how to unwrap these two, because these are not hard to reseal or to
What
undo and reseal.
is that, a 10th ounce or a quarter or what?
It's a 10th ounce. Yeah, I'm not that rich. I couldn't afford, because I was going to Disney, man. So I spent quite a few grand down there, and I wanted to buy an ounce. Okay, so I sealed this up a little bit too effectively. All right, so hold on. So let me make sure this is on the camera. What you got to find is a loose point in the tape. There we go. Because the packing tape provided by the U.S. Mint sucks. All right, so you find a point in the tape that's loose, you create a corner, and then you just slowly kind of ease it off of the cardboard. When you get to the edge, kind of just use a little bit of help. Now, why do you do this? Well, because if you're going to send it to NGC or PCGS, they want it sealed in order to get the first strike designation. And so you don't want it really manipulated that much. But I've learned that you want to have a look at it. I kind of screwed it up right here, but you want to have a look at it before you do, because my American Silver Eagles, one of them had a scratch in it. All right, so once you do that, it's kind of an easy way to just peel it off. All right, so there's the 1/10. They really went cheap with the packaging. I did a video on how bad the products are from the Mint this year. They're really bad. It's a really, really chintzy case. Here's the C of O. And there is the proof. You guys want me to throw it on the scope?
Sure.
Okay. She is really pretty. Let me remove this. Hold on. Let's do this.
You might have to minimize me or something.
We'll do something. We'll figure it out. No worries. All right, hang on.
That is pretty. So how did they change the back to make it a Type 2?
Oh, you're going to see in just a second.
That is nice.
It's a beautiful gold piece. But look at that.
Oh, that's cool.
Look at that eagle. It's like the half-head eagle just staring you down. John Jacobs is right. Yeah, the quality sucks at the Mint lately. I think by and large I'm happy with this particular piece, even though I think it's going to be a proof 69. I see a couple of flaws in it. But hey, Silver Clan, welcome to the chat, man. And Wine Country stacking you too. I'll show you the particular flaws.
I love that That's beautiful.
Yeah, isn't that a beautiful eagle head? But this, this is the St. Gaudens design. It's changed up a little bit, I think, in her head. I think her head is a little bit too oval and fat, but a lot of the little dots and stuff that you see are the capsule, except down there near 2021. I see a couple of notches there in the coin itself.
Is that a cud on one?
I think I see
those two, right?
Yeah, there's two.
Yeah, is that a mark or is that actually a cud? Is that a little bit of metal that's on top of it?
I think it's a mark. So
yeah, I can't tell.
I'm going to send it to PCGS anyway, just to get it, encapsulated. I like to have my gold encapsulated, but
yeah.
Plus, hey, I have like 8 vouchers. Like, why not, right?
Dang, you've got 8 vouchers?
Yeah.
I'm kind of pissed at PCGS when they refused to grade my 1914 Denver Mint penny.
Why did they refuse to grade it?
I sent it in to have it. I sent it in and paid for conservation efforts on it as well, and they didn't do any conservation efforts or clean it up. But because they said there's environmental damage on it, which there's a couple of tiny little specks of green or something on there, they refused to grade it. They said, yeah, it's an authentic one, and it's got extra fine details, but not gradable. I'm like, what? You gotta be kidding me.
What? Wait, hold on. Okay, so details not gradable.
Yeah.
What was it? Cleaned?
No. Here, I'll show it to you.
Yeah, show it to me. Yeah, here, I'll put it up. Wait. Hold on, let me put you as a... Wait, you're not even on. No, that doesn't work.
Don't know. I'll have to turn on a different lamp maybe to get the lighting right.
It's more frontal light. Yeah, for sure.
Turn on a different light real quick. Oh, that's bright. That might be too much light.
Silver Clan, I follow the same rule. Oh, external corrosion. So it was buried. They're saying it was buried.
This was never buried, but it's got a couple of little flecks on there around the B and E and Liberty. You can see just the smallest amount of corrosion, but that's also why I sent it in and paid for them to do the conservation effort, and they didn't do it.
The whole point of doing the conservation effort is to get them to clean it up and get them to grade it.
Yeah,
hey,
exactly.
Jack, what's up, man?
And on the back it says genuine, not gradable.
That's messed up.
And they even
now
put
I
it
sent
in
one.
They even put it in the gold folder.
Why would you do that? Just get your money? Because that costs an extra like $5 or something. What the?
I didn't ask that. I just wanted it graded. And, I wanted the conservation efforts because it's an old coin. It's in good condition, but it's really dark, and it had those couple of spots. They should have cleaned that off and then graded it, and they refused to do it. But they still charged me for it.
I'm so disappointed in PCGS for that. And, they just sent me a second shirt. In fact, we'll do a giveaway tonight. Hold on.
I'm tempted to send it in. I was thinking about sending in a bunch of coins to NGC and getting them to grade it. And I was thinking about sending this in to them and saying, hey, if you'll actually put it through the conservation efforts and actually grade it, break it out of the slab and do it. And then please send me the slab back because I'm going to destroy it on YouTube and publicly make a statement about it.
Hey, man, you do what you want with your coins. I'm not gonna control that, but yeah. So check this out. So I already belong to PCGS, and they sent me this. Oh wait, hold on. This one, whatever. It's like a polo shirt, right? Dry fit polo shirt.
Okay.
And then I never wore it. And then I'm like, okay, I got I sent out all my coins, and I spent a lot of money. I got burned by most of it. I'm like, I got way more picky with my PCGS selections, right? I had one that I wanted to send in, but then they automatically renewed my subscription. It was like $289, something like that. And then I got another shirt. I don't want another fucking shirt. But that's how I got my 8 vouchers or whatever. So we're gonna give away another PCGS shirt. We'll give one away tonight to someone who doesn't belong to PCGS. What the hell?
Clarify. Check out one of my newest pickups. I got this on Silver Life's channel.
That's interesting. What are those? Seals or something? What?
It's a 2-ounce platypus.
Oh, platypus. That's it. Interesting. Okay. That's got to be a chunky monkey.
Oh, yeah, she's nice.
Hardcore Copper says he'll burn it for you, the shirt. Gary got one. Hey, whatever you want, you guys. All I know is this is the only valuable coin that I have with me. Like, everything that I have is in deep, deep storage. So I've decided not to sell any silver. I've decided not to sell any gold. And in fact, my next paycheck, I plan on investing at least $3,000 in silver. That's my but
keep some of my
only handy. What's that?
I like to keep some of my silver handy. Just number one, because I like playing with it.
Well, it feels great in your pocket, that's for sure. The thing is, like, yeah, I've got some silver, readily handy actually. But it's usually like 40% or something like that. But what was it? 3 months ago, I ran a trend line, and it predicted silver going to $18 an ounce.
Really?
Really. And I thought to myself at the time, well, if it does, I'll be buying.
Oh, yeah, I'll be buying.
It went up to like 25 an ounce, and I'm like, okay, I'll still buy it at 25 an ounce. Then it started going up higher and higher, and I started slowing down my buying because, I had this thing in my head, 18. So I stopped buying maybe about a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago. And I just have this feeling that it will go to 18. And when it goes to 18, I plan on buying as much as I humanly possibly can, like crazy.
Yeah, most places stop selling when it drops that low. Yeah.
But will they? If it's gradual, I don't think so. I think if it's gradual, they won't. If it's
might not.
Yeah, if it's abrupt, they're gonna stop it overnight. They're gonna be like, "Oh, the hell with this."
Yeah, they're like, "No, we don't have anywhere out of stock."
Exactly. But if it's 50 cents one night and it goes up 10 cents, and then 50 cents the next night, but it goes up 10 cents. But it's actually the opposite. Here, it goes down during the day when the United States gets involved. It goes up when it's foreign countries overnight.
Right.
Then it goes down to the United States. It gets up. So, but still, yeah, when it goes, down by 50 cents and then up 10, down 50 cents, up 10, all the way down to $18, I'm all in. I'm going chunky monkey hardcore. I'm buying like crazy. because that's the next step. Because like you said, this infrastructure package that they're proposing, which I'm all for, by the way, I don't give a fuck. Spend
There's
the money.
a lot of it earmarked for stuff that has nothing to do with infrastructure, which is a little bit of an issue. But they're spending. It's the $3.5 trillion one that's following this one up. That's scary.
All I know is the $3.5 trillion one is the one I want as a silver stacker, because that is the energy one. The transition from fossil fuels to energy is the best transition for silver stackers.
Well,
it is the one that's going to make silver in the highest demand you've ever seen in your life.
I understand that, but the problem is that the fossil fuels are still going to be used because they still got to have electricity to make all this shit, and the fossil fuels are used in in massive quantities in the production of those batteries and cars themselves. And the production
let's put it this way.
Is one of the worst environmental damages being done to our planet currently.
Is fossil fuels and methane production. Methane production is the worst thing that's done for our environment, and that happens from like the shale, busting up shale.
Right. Well, it happens from a lot of different sources.
Well, yeah, but most recently it's been from what do they call that?
A lot of it comes from lakes, honestly, because
a lot of it comes from shit too. Oh, no offense.
I mean, of course.
Shit. Oh, Hardcore Copper says cow farts. Yeah,
exactly. So, cow farts are burning a hole in the ozone layer. Don't you know that?
Jack Gallman, have a great night, brother. Have a great night. But let me tell you something. It's shale. It's I forget what the production process is called for busting up shale for gas.
We have oil. Well, that's you're thinking of fracking.
Fracking is the worst for methane production.
And they don't tell us what is in those chemicals and in the water slurry that they're using for the fracking, so we don't know what the hell's being put in our groundwater because they're saying. Right.
John Jacobs, Silver Clan, thank you so much. Absolutely, it's fracking. Fuck the fracking. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't like fracking at all. I'm way against that. I mean, I can understand drilling a well and getting natural gas or oil or something, but when you're drilling a well and then you're injecting something into the ground to break up the ground so that you can get these gases or whatnot, no, I don't agree with that.
No, and you shouldn't, because it's poisoning everybody. Like, listen, I don't agree with Monsanto.
No, I hate Monsanto. Oh my God.
Monsanto changing the genetic structure of plants so that's more resistant to its fucking product to kill weeds. Fuck you. It's causing cancer. Stop
Monsanto's
it.
Terrible.
But they have the hands in the pockets of the politicians, right?
Yep.
So you gotta get rid of the politicians. Who's being funded by them? And then most of the people don't have the time to do the research on these people. They have no clue. That's why I'm a big proponent of a couple of ideas. Tell me what you think about this idea.
Okay, I'll be listening. I got to make another drink.
Get yourself another drink. It's very important. I think I may have mentioned this on one of my other streams before. All right. So forgive me if you've heard this already. None of your fracking business what we put in the ground, says Silver Clan. You care. When it's your family, you care, Hardcore Copper ran over an ad today. Whatever. Listen. Our politicians need to be picked from amongst the people. So my idea is to have the political system not run by money, but run on a jury pool system. So let's say for every office, there's 3 to 5 candidates selected randomly amongst the people in that population. Then they're vetted for, well, I don't know, let's say, criminal background, right?
You can take a few tests as well.
Take a few tests, right? Then have them speak in front of a fucking camera. Pay them a salary, a decent salary, and say, okay, from these people, from this pool of, let's say, 100, I don't want to say applicants, 100 randomly selected people in your community, 5 are your, candidates. Here is their, platform, what they believe, their background, choose of them. So it's kind of like a jury pool system, and you just have to do it. It's a community service, right? You get to do it for a couple years, and bam, you're out. And then money is out of the fucking system.
That'd be kind of interesting.
Thank you.
Because
what's your neighbor?
Everybody wants to scream democracy. It's like, we're a constitutional republic. We're not a democracy.
That's right. We elect people to represent us.
And we need to get back to the constitutional republic and eliminate this democracy bullshit.
It's not a democracy. It is a plutocracy. And the people that own it are the multinational corporations. And they own our government. Hey, Henry Von Mega, Silver Hair Seeker, hello.
Oh, wow. Mickey Rob's Banks. Mickey Rob's Banks is hanging out.
Mickey Rob's Bank is in here. Right on, Mickey Rob's Banks. What's up, man? What are you drinking, by the way? I gotta know.
Tequila and orange juice.
Okay. Very cool. I just went with straight up vodka. It's Tito's, though.
So can we go 420 friendly as well?
Yes.
Sweet.
All right, so listen, getting back to the people, if we were to have some sort of representative democracy where it wasn't money in the bank, where people were randomly selected and then chosen amongst their community, we're a step forward to getting towards, really protecting our people, which, honestly, I get the sense that you are what you would call a conservative, right?
More or less. I do fall into the moderate category, but basically I'm more on the conservative side of moderate.
Right. And I would consider myself a complete and total liberal, almost all the way to the other side of the horseshoe, to being like a anti-fascist, right?
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm like Antifa.
Oh, that's bad, brother.
No, it's great. You want to know why it's great? Because I believe when you get down to the policies, you and I agree with each other. But once you get past like the buzzwords, once you get past Green New Deal, once you get past socialism, once you get past this, like the term of fascism, once you get past all these ideas, you get to the core of people.
Well, right, but what I'm saying is that organization, their base ideology and methodology, I completely disagree with.
But Antifa is not an organization; it's just an idea.
No.
Yeah.
We'll agree to disagree on that aspect.
It's just an idea. Trust me. I've been with these stooges. They have no idea of what, it's basically like if you took Malcolm X and you eliminated Malcolm X, and you're left with just a loose, random scattering of people who believed in Malcolm X's ideals, but had no idea of what to do about it. That's Antifa. We disagree with the organization of anti-populist power or corporate power, right?
Okay, so you're anti-capitalist.
I'm not anti-capital. I believe in capitalism to an extent, but I've also read history, and I know that unadulterated capitalism doesn't work. What it results is in like the meat problem that we had in the 1800s.
Any system let run rampant can become an issue.
Yes, that's why there has to be some sort of regulation.
But when it comes to like
that, Anza was awesome. Thank you. I should have done a video on it, but it went to the big stack. I'm sorry, the permastack. I didn't have time to do a video on it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that, more or less the way that Antifa members or followers, or I don't know what you would want to term it, as a rule, they're acting like fascists, trying to impose their will on people.
I'm against anybody imposing their will on anyone else under the auspices or outside auspices of a democratic society, right? That's the definition of anti-fascism, right? Like fascism is you thinking that you can take control because you have power. You have a gun. That means you can take control of a situation. That's fascism. You have, 10 guys versus one guy. No. It depends on how you use it in what circumstances.
But it's a tool. And that's all in how somebody, that's all personal, basically, on how the individual is seeing the use of that item. Because firearm that I have is not a weapon. I've got it as
every firearm is a weapon.
Or I've got it, for sporting.
I'm sorry. Time out. We're having a little bit of the
communication
cutting out. Yeah, but we have a very important question from Lambo Stacker. He says, "Why would a rat's ass be in a purple sock?"
Why would a rat's ass be in a purple sock?
You left your purple sock on the floor. The rat got scared, backed up into it. Savvy Stacker's in the house. She's been lurking and listening during the conversation. Oh, hey, you don't have to chat. Hey, welcome. Savvy, I missed you. I was on in Florida, too. I'm sorry I didn't have a chance to say hi.
Hello, Savvy Stacker. And Lambo Stacker. And Gail. But yeah, I remember the rat I had. He absolutely loved socks. He'd tear them up and build nests out of them. He loved socks.
Here's the thing. I have weapons, right? I have many weapons. They're all weapons. They're not tools. They are used and designed for one purpose, and that is to kill people if they were to fuck with me. Now, if I wanted to go and shoot them off into the wilderness, if I wanted to use them to go cut a rock, that would be a stupid use of that thing, that weapon. And then I guess I could call it a tool. But ultimately, all of my weapons, all of my guns, my knives, my devices are weapons.
And
so
to me, I don't use weapons, especially like my knives. I use them for carving. I use them for eating my food, I don't use them as a weapon. A firearm, I use it for maybe hunting purposes or sport shooting.
Then. It's a weapon for hunting purposes. That's fine. A weapon doesn't necessarily mean that it's just for self-protection. It's meant to kill.
In case, like a bear.
And it's meant to kill. It's not like mince words here. I've got quite a few shotguns. My shotguns I use for hunting, and I can also use them for hunting people. It's a fucking weapon.
They do have multiple uses.
And Savvy Stacker's right. Pew-pews don't kill people. People kill people. 100%. Absolutely right. But we're not talking about gun control here. What are we talking about?
We're just discussing terminology.
Yeah, let's just be straight with it, though. Pew-pews are weapons. I'm sorry.
They can be weapons.
And yes, they can be weapons.
A rock can be a fucking weapon.
Yes.
I mean, anything technically can be a weapon. It's how it's used at the time. So
what you're
firearms
saying
are not weapons unless they're used in a nefarious manner.
The intent upon usage of the tool is the definition of the weapon in your perspective.
Defines the terminology at the time. Yes.
The intent. Okay. I kind of disagree a little bit. I think a nuclear bomb is a weapon despite the intent.
Well, there's only one intent with a nuclear bomb. It's to make off and do extreme damage and take lives.
I took your argument to the next level and logically. So, excuse me. I took your argument to the next level logically. Now you're making exceptions that because of the extent of the weapon, then suddenly it's a weapon.
No, because there's only one use. There's only one use for a nuclear bomb. There's not multiple uses for it.
Well, I don't know. Is there only one use to a nuclear bomb? I mean,
Sure.
What if there's an asteroid coming from planet or some other distant object in the sky? You could shoot that nuclear bomb up there to divert it from the Earth. Suddenly it's a defensive weapon.
It could try to be used that way, yeah.
I agree with you. It could try. It probably won't happen. But the point is, it's a fucking weapon. Just concede the point. It's a weapon. It's used to dissuade someone else coming at you.
But again, when you're comparing a nuclear bomb to a 22 or something, you're comparing apples to oranges, really, in a way. Because a bomb is different than a firearm.
It depends on the person observing it. If you're a fucking ant with a 22 coming towards you, then it's a nuclear bomb. I'm sorry.
That's good. Being shot with a 22 being like hit with a nuke.
But would it? Yes. The ant would be like, "Fuck you up." Yeah, it is what it is, man. Anyways,
that was funny. But let's change subjects.
We should. What have you been collecting lately? Hey, Gail Marie.
Other than silver, and of course, I go out and look for fossils and crystals and mushrooms every now and then. I'm really into my ivory.
Wait, where are you located? Like what state?
Colorado.
Colorado. You will find fossils in Colorado. Cool.
Dinosaur bones around me. I've got all kinds of cool fossils. Lots of good stuff like ammonites.
Yeah, show some of that stuff off. Tell me about them. What that's like a old like a
It's
sea.
kind of like, yeah, it was basically a squid in a shell.
Cool.
But this, has this other little ammonite. Let's see, right there. I don't know if you can really see it. Right here. And on the back side of this ammonite fossil is actually a type of mussel.
Wait, how did that happen? So, do you think that the mussel attached itself to the
The die-off layer, where a bunch of stuff died due to environmental changes or something else, and they all just kind of littered the bottom of the sea floor at the time.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, yeah. And I've got pieces like this one. I've got, multiple ammonites on it. And parts of them. And
Wait, point them out because it looks like a big clod of gunk to me.
okay, let's see if I can do this. Okay,
one of them looked like sea monkey metals.
There's an ammonite right here and one right here.
Okay,
one on the top.
I see it.
Here at the underneath of it. Over here, there's one. And there's partial pieces like this piece sticking off right there. And it's just loaded with pieces of ammonites. There's
Aunt Orta thought it was a big turd, but no, there's ammonites in there that all look like sea monkey metals.
We've got this is a scaphite. This is a heteromorph ammonite.
What's the difference between an andesite and a gaphite?
Well, the scaphite, because it's a heteromorph, you see how the spiral elongates here and then comes back in? It's not a continual spiral.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a slightly different variation on the species.
That is cool.
But then we can find, this actually came from eastern Colorado, and this was a gift from a friend of mine. This is a segment of a baculite, a very large one, which was kind of like an ammonite, but they were straight like a cone, like a really long, tapered ice cream cone.
That looks like something that was manufactured.
Right. Well, those are the sutures. Those are the growth lines, basically.
It's like tree trunks, and the way they have like little lines.
Well, your snails and stuff, they basically grow a new ring, or they get bigger and bigger as they grow. They start off small and they just start getting bigger and bigger. And that's basically what these things did. And those are different years or different growth cycles of the critter. And it created a new chamber as it got bigger and bigger and bigger. Created new segments.
That is cool, man. Aunt Orta said there's no silver, so... But I think those... Okay, Silver Clan pronounced it correctly. Ammonites.
I'm not in the Springs. I'm actually in Grand Junction.
Hey, Philip the Board. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, I'm Robert Worley. You know me as Robert. Here, if I do this, you'll see who I am. It's me.
So what do you do? Just like walk around like the streams and tributaries and stuff and look for those, or?
Well, see, we're in a canyon here, and we've got a lot of geology exposed. See, millions of years in the layers of rocks that we've got exposed around here. And at one time, this used to be an ocean. And for the ocean fossils, you want to get into what's called the Mancus shale layer. And that's what was formed when the oceans were here. And above that, we've got a sandstone cap. And that's a Morrison formation. And that's where all the dinosaurs are. But
Out of curiosity, are you a believer of the Gaia layer, or the what do they call it? The
Gaia layer.
not Gaia. Man, I've got to get it. What is it? The
The KT boundary?
no, it. All right, so I got the word wrong. It's basically where the continent, like all of our continents were one. What was that
Yeah,
called?
Pangea.
The Pangea.
Pangea was the latest one. There have been multiple supercontinents before Pangea. The one
Thank
the
you.
was
Thank
Gondwana.
you. Yes. Thank you, Philip the Board, the Pangea. I haven't studied this in a long time, so I'm not, all the terms are loose in my head, right? Because I don't study it.
Geology in college, so.
Okay, so there's the Pangea, but as time went by, then there's different formations of the Earth as the continental drift happened, right?
Right. Stuff started changing.
Exactly. Now,
this is Robert Worley.
Now, I'm going to ask you this question. Do you believe in Atlantis?
Yes, I do. I believe Atlantis was an actual city that existed. Where it existed and what happened to it, that's still up for debate. But I believe there's enough historical references from credible, noted, historical figures that back up Atlantis actually existing. As far as everything that they, I don't know.
No, Robert, go ahead. Go ahead if you want to continue.
No, I was just saying, as far as everything that some of the historical references claim, I'm not sure, but yeah, I totally.
Do you mind if I take a break? Because I could show you a book which is incredible, called Atlantis, Mother of Empires. I think it was written right around 1918, which is the sum total of study of one man's journey to find the city, which surprisingly is not in the Atlantic Ocean at all. But he proposes that Atlantis, in fact, was the birthplace of the Mayan Empire. That Atlantis was, in fact, a island off the coast of South America in the Pacific. That it was a high achieving society, very scientific, very advanced civilization, but because of some tectonic shift, their island was destroyed and they had to flee to South America, where they encountered very barbaric tribes of people. And so they went into the upper plains of the Andes Mountains to hide. And that's where they continue their studies and observations of,
like the Nazca lines and everything in that then, huh?
Yeah. It's a really cool book.
Yeah, that's an interesting theory. I hadn't thought of, I haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah,
I did
peruse.
I put up a couple of my when I did my auctions.
Sea Monkey Metals says, I believe the Bible, Jesus is the way, the truth, and life. Science has been corrupted to draw people away from God. Well, I don't know. I think Jesus was of the people, and you have to follow the people in order to find Jesus. Do you sell any of the fossils?
I was raised very religiously, but again, stuff has been reinterpreted too many times. But
I'm going to
can't ignore scientific fact. But yes, I fully believe in Christ. So
I think Jesus Christ is a great dude. I don't believe in him. I think he was a great guy. I believe he existed, but he also didn't die on the cross. And I believe he went to India to live out the rest of his days, and he had kin.
He died on a torture stake, but it's possible that he might have had offspring. But it's a proven fact that a cross, unless you're tied to it, and it never says anything like that, it says stake, and it was a torture stake. Hands were above the head, and it was through the wrists, not out to the side. The human body cannot physically stay there. It will fall off.
I think he went into a coma, and he was revived. But anyway, wait, what did Eric Von Daniken, Philip the Board asked, did you read Eric Von Daniken? I can tell you, I don't recall that author at all. But if Eric Von Daniken is important, let me know, and I will read whatever he wrote, because I'm always interested in reading alternative theories and facts. Like I said, I've read the Bible a number of times. I love Jesus. He was a Buddhist at heart. He propagated Buddhist ideals, and I'm cool with it, you know? So if you're one of those people who believes in Jesus and doesn't believe that, you know, Buddhism is very similar, well, you need to go read some Buddhist shit and stop propagating.
It's extremely similar.
Yeah. You go read some, what's his name? Joseph Campbell, for crying out loud. There are so many similarities between these belief systems. It's incredible. You know, it's like believe in the people and the power of people.
Ideology. Its base ideology is what matters. And that's what makes those religions still valid today. You know, if do unto others as you would want others to do unto you, basically. You be nice to your neighbor, you treat them like a person just as you would want to be treated, and the world would get along a lot fucking better.
I'll read some of that, Daniken. I'll let you guys know what I think. And I agree with you, Robert, 100%. You know, just in life, boil it down to treat one like you want to treat each other. Exactly. This is what Jesus said. What did Jesus? He said.
Said a lot of things.
Well, he said a lot of things, but it was. I'm trying to find the exact parable. It was. No one should get through the gates of heaven but through me. No one should get through the gates of heaven yet through me, or but through me. And this is the take. Now, was Jesus a narcissist? No, right? Jesus didn't give a shit about you going through Jesus. Jesus was trying to tell the world that he was of the people. He was just a person. And no one is going to get through the gates of heaven without treating each other, or like treating Jesus, or like treating anyone like themselves.
Exactly.
That's it.
No, that was like, I think the one scripture that you were trying to think of was the one that I had tried mentioning, which is, you know, do unto others as you would have others do unto you. You know, you treat them like you want to be treated. And if everybody in the world did that, the world would be a different place. But
I agree 100%. You know, like, listen, Robert, I'm happy to have you on my chat on this stream.
You know, in our coin community, we're trying. We've got people from every race, every creed, every religion, all over the world as part of this coin community. And how giving are people in this coin community? How loving are people in this coin community? If somebody's got an issue, we want to try to help them in any way we can, whether it's emotional support or even if it has to be financially. And it doesn't matter, because we all have something in common that we love, and that brought us together. And we got something kind of special here.
I think
Unfortunately, there's bad elements that infiltrate, but they're rare.
I'd say they were, but the rarity, and the instances are powerful enough to dissuade others from joining. We like Mickey Rob's Bank says, karma is, I lost track of numbers, 1,000,000,000% real. Gail Marie had a good point. Mary Magdalene was married to Jesus, a Jewish man. Must marry. She was at the Last Supper. I love Mary Magdalene. And what Mickey Rob's Bank said earlier, I believe all the writings about Jesus, however, I believe his power was derived from something much larger, and that is all. That lends credence to exactly what I'm talking about, that the power of God, the power of Jesus, the power of Muhammad, the power of whatever God you choose is within all of us. It's the power of life, right?
Well, hold on. Don't mistake prophets with gods. They're different.
To be perfectly honest, I don't believe in gods.
Well, but again, they were prophets.
I believe in energy. Well, Jesus was a prophet. Muhammad was a prophet, right? If you want to mince words.
No, I'm saying they were prophets. A lot of people, will talk about them and then say stuff like gods, and it's like, no, they were prophets. There's a difference.
And that's a good point.
They believed in a higher power. They believed in this individual deity. They believed in a God, other than like Buddha and stuff. I'm saying, like Muhammad and Christ. They believed in one God. They were prophets. They never claimed to be a God, but people say that, and I think it winds up twisting a lot of people's views of religion with misunderstanding the difference.
See, I'm like Philip the Board. I believe in energy, and I think our species has done their best to try to describe the energies of the experiences that they've had throughout their travels and experiences the best they can. And, you have the story of Moses, for example. You have the stories of, the Greeks. You have the stories of the Egyptians.
Noah being swallowed by a giant fish.
Oh, yeah. No, well, that's actually very popular. The Great Flood is a very popular myth throughout all tribes of man.
I meant Jonah, not Noah. Because, all over the world they've got flood myths, yes.
Yeah.
I meant Jonah, not Noah.
Okay.
Jonah being
Jonah, the whale. Yeah, that'll be another good one. I mean, the point that I'm trying to make is not that the God or the being is differentiated or isolated as to being one specific thing, but that it's part of an energy that we've tried to identify, that we can't, as human beings, identify.
And I can't discredit what you're saying there, but in the same vein, I want to jump in for a second and
go ahead.
Make a scientific, in a way, observation on the subject.
Ooh, give me some science.
Okay, well, think about it this way. Our bodies, the atoms that make us up, They don't actually touch each other. They know each other in relation, basically. They're like, yeah, okay, we know that we're supposed to be next to this atom. And because if those atoms ever touched, we'd be in a state of fusion. Because we are. Everything's energy. And when you think about it that way, those early elementals, like your fire elements, your earth elements, your water elements, they could have actually been physical beings, but their atoms were just a little bit farther apart than ours were. So we couldn't physically necessarily perceive them with our eyes. They would be able to pass through walls. They would be able to do all kinds of stuff. But just like when we flex a muscle, we bring our atoms a little bit closer together. It gets firmer. Let's say a water elemental, if it chose that medium, it could flex its muscles, possibly bring itself together to where it could actually move that water. Those early elementals possibly could have been actual physical beings, but their atomic nature was just a little bit farther apart than ours were, so they weren't physically perceived as something a physical solid object. But the same thing can ghosts.
It's interesting because you're thinking about these things in very dimensional terms. No offense, Robert. Everything that you just said is very defined in physical dimensional terms.
Yes.
Energy cannot be defined physically necessarily. In one dimension, yes, it can. But
it can't be fully defined.
It can't. Yeah, in another, it can be quantified for sure, but not necessarily contained in another dimension. I'm inclined to agree with the numismaniac here, who wrote, "Energy can neither be created or destroyed. Thought is energy." True. If that's the case, that could be considered the soul. What does that thought energy go after you die? So, energy is transferred, right?
Exactly.
It's not created.
It's transferred.
It's transferred. So, if upon my death, let's say hypothetically, I was being murdered, well, I'm going to be very upset, right? I'm going to have very angry and hostile, defensive emotions.
Vengeful spirit you're talking now.
Let's talk about a vengeful spirit, right? Now, I die, let's say, in another context under an oak tree, and it's a beautiful evening. There's no harm at all, and my loved one is with me. And I'm ready to go. I'm ready to accept passage into the next life, and it's very peaceful. Well, that's going to be a different form of energy, is it not? Right? We create our own energy is the point I'm trying to make. That is the path to heaven or hell that Christians tried to describe it as they adopted it from the Greco-Roman tradition. Poor fucking Hades, who got the shaft from his brothers in seeking the underworld. But keep in mind that Elysium, heaven, was in the underworld. So, all these concepts, all these constructs that we try to convince ourselves are one thing or another, are all descendant of people trying to grasp the idea of what happens to us when we die.
Sharp Eye, there has actually been some studies done which are kind of interesting, which leads towards talking about a soul. But if you actually put somebody on a scale and are weighing them at the moment of death, there's like a 6 or 8 ounce loss of weight at the moment of death.
Yeah, well,
typically explained.
There's a scientific explanation for all that. Listen, Monkey Metal is a goddess. You are naming it the falling angels, and again, uh, well, I will name some fallen angels. Okay, how about Lucifer? Right, that's a fallen angel who was created well after Hades. Okay, who is the god of the underworld? It's bullshit.
Well,
Okay.
here's one thing: is that the Bible verse actually reads that Lucifer was cast to the earth, not into, not as in an underworld, walking on the surface. It's among us, basically, is what the Bible says.
And that's a translation as well. Like, you haven't seen the actual Vatican. It's all translation. Listen,
Translate.
it's all from man. That's
Yep.
all I'm trying to say. It's all from mankind. Listen,
I agree.
this is what people forget. And I'm sorry. Listen, I love the concept of religion. It fascinates me. But in the end, we're animals, you guys. We are animals. We have flesh, we're heart, we're mind, we're loins, muscle, tendon, tissue, blood. We are animals. Yes, we are higher evolved than other animals on the plains of the earth, but it doesn't mean that we are above anything. All it means is that if we want to survive as animals on this earth, we have to act like other mammals on this earth and find equilibrium amongst each other. That's it. That's my 2 cents. I'll get off the stage.
No, but here's an idea for ghosts or spectral images, not like as in like the soul, like a vengeful spirit or something like you were talking about earlier, but just kind of those spectral images that people see walking down a hallway and through a door or something. Again, going back to the atomic nature of our being. Those atoms recognize each other. When we produce body odor, that's atoms leaving our body. We are shedding skin cells all the time. We constantly lose atoms. Now, over the course of time, those atoms, again, energy cannot be created nor destroyed, only transferred. And
it's called, wait, I'm sorry, it's called dust on your bookshelf. When we atoms, it's skin cells.
But enough of that. What I'm saying is that the energy, the slight bit of energy that those atomic molecules still have, if enough of them came together and recognized each other next to each other, they could slightly hold together for a short amount of time before their energy weakened enough that they fell back apart. And that could explain a lot of the spectral images that people see walking down a hallway or turning a corner and disappearing.
Well, yeah, it could. I mean, it could also be Wait, hold on. Those spectral images, I question the technology in and of itself, but I'm a big proponent of the multiverse. So it could just be someone veering off into another dimension.
I would think if that happened to be the case, I would think it would be more crisp, more vivid.
I don't know. I mean, how would veering off into another universe look in a camera?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying in a camera. I'm saying to what people see with their own eyes.
Or describe to them another through eyes. It would be blurry. It would be transitional.
If they never fully, if they were in between, yes. But if they fully went to a separate dimension, then the image should be crisp and clear.
Hey, Rocky Mountain Bear, what's going on?
Oh, nice, Rocky Mountain Bear.
Prospecting. You guys, all the cool people are here for this chat. This is awesome.
Marley T in here as well.
I know Marley and T's here. I mean, I'm trying to keep up with everything people are reading. I'm sorry, a lot of stuff is flying by me.
No, there's a lot of stuff being said in chat.
I wish it would come up because I would love to have a conversation about this stuff. This is like some of my favorite conversation topics, actually. Joseph Campbell, The Power of Myth, the Hero with 1,000 Faces.
But I'll be right back.
Oh, go for it. Go for it. Good to see you, Rocky Mountain Bear. All of you guys, thank you. I have no idea how many people are in chat right now, but it's great to see you. I have nothing involved with coinage tonight except for that gold piece that I bought. If you want to see it, just throw one in chat. But we've been talking about a lot of concepts. Gail Marie's read Joseph Campbell. It is awesome stuff. The fact that this man went and documented belief systems from around the globe and found similarities and commonalities, it's beyond me. I love it. I can't say it's beyond me. I actually understand it quite a bit, but it's just humbling, to see that amount of research compacted for our knowledge. To anybody who hasn't read any Joseph Campbell, please go read some. I particularly love A Hero with 1,000 Faces, but there's A Power of Myth and many other books. And so you're not just like saying or believing at random, these ideas. Like I told you guys before, I'm not a Christian. I love Christ. But I'm not a Christian because I don't believe in the Christian tenets. I can't say that I believe in the miracle of the virgin birth, for example. So because of that, in and of itself, I'm not a Christian. But I love Christ. He's a fantastic guy.
Hold on. That's, in my opinion, the definition of being a Christian is believing and trying to follow Christ's teachings. Whether you believe in how he was born, doesn't matter. Whether you believe in the resurrection, doesn't matter. What matters, you believe and try to conduct yourself according to what he taught. That, in my opinion, is what a Christian is.
That's what a lot of people believe, but I was baptized Catholic, Roman Catholic. So the traditional view is not that. You have to believe in the tenets of the religion in order to be a Christian. You have to believe in the virgin birth. You have to believe in the crucifixion. You have to believe in the resurrection.
Most of the world views Catholicism as a different religious category than Christianity. They kind of fall under the umbrella of Christianity, but Catholicism not necessarily is.
But Catholicism is kind of like the original. I mean, right? Kind of like the main one.
Basically, it was about one of the first, yes.
Yeah. Hey.
Unfortunately, I have a problem with Catholicism. This is probably going to get me in a lot of shit with a lot of people on YouTube, and they're probably going to hate me and delete my channel.
Robert, go ahead. But I'm going to get another drink. You go ahead.
The suppression of knowledge. It's the suppression of knowledge for me is my main issue.
Yes, I agree.
So much was taken from so many cultures and is hidden. Why? The Vatican vaults are super secret. They've got all kinds of ancient history from around the world. that could solve all kinds of archaeological mysteries, and they refuse to let anybody see it. Why? That's my main issue. And again, like I said, the suppression of knowledge, that's part of it. But they did it more on the one-on-one. It's like, no, you've got to... All of the holidays are based off of pagan holidays. They just said, no, you thought you were celebrating, the middle of winter, but you were actually celebrating the birth of Christ. There was way too much. I was just talking about the all the pagan holidays and celebrations that were brought in under the Christian umbrella.
Yeah,
to try
yeah.
to
It actually pisses me off.
Yeah.
Jesus was born right around this time right now.
Possibly a little bit later, but not much later than this. Yeah, you're right.
Not much later, but right around late July, perhaps early August is the theory.
Possibly up to mid-September.
His name was Yeshua ben Yosef. All right. Jesus Christ's name was Joshua. Sorry, guys. That's the truth. All right. Let's see. What else? Was a carpenter? Yes. Did love someone named Mary? Yes. But yeah, we celebrate during the winter solstice in December. Okay. All right. We took over the pagan holiday. Exactly. But what sucks is Easter was Ostera. Ostera was beautiful. I love Ostera.
Esther.
Well,
it was Esther was the Roman goddess of fertility, and her two emblems was a rabbit and an egg.
Yes. Thank you.
The goddess of fertility.
Yep.
And that's what people were worshiping, and they're like, oh, no, you're actually worshiping the birth of Christ, or the resurrection of Christ.
Yep, we'll murder you if you keep doing that.
It's like, really? Basically. I thought we were worshiping spring.
Yeah, the birth of life. Wait. Rabbits multiply, eggs give birth, spring is life.
Yeah.
Love it. Perfect symbols, right?
Rampant, all of it is.
Yeah.
Every holiday, I could call out every single supposed Christian holiday.
All Hallows Eve. Yeah, exactly. We could call them all out.
They're all pagan holidays that have been overtaken by Christians or Catholics or whatever, and to force the natives to their beliefs.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
What? With all those parties from the Romans, I'm sorry, even before that, from the Sumatra or whatever, Mesopotamia, the Egyptians.
You're thinking Sumerians.
Yeah, the Sumerians. Yeah, the Sumerians, Mesopotamia, the Greeks, the Egyptians, the Romans, the Europeans, all of the trail of holidays. God was there. God was there. Because let me tell you something. God is life. God loves the party. God loves life.
Hey, he gave us meat, so I'm happy.
God gave you that. So party on, Garth.
Party on.
Right on. Just do what you got to do. Hey, have love in your heart and pass it on to others. That is the fucking point.
Exactly, brother. I agree 100%. And that's our community has it. Juan Velasquez, wow.
Velasquez is in the house. What's going on, man?
Velasquez, you need to show up in Tupac Coin Roll Hunters next stream, because somebody was looking for you, trying to get you to send them an email because there's something that you won that you haven't claimed yet.
Bro, they've been trying to get your address for weeks.
Yeah, people haven't seen Juan Velasquez for a while, and they're trying to find him so they can send him some stuff. So
I was in a stream a while ago, and they were asking him for his address, and he was in there, but he wasn't responding.
Savvy Stacker said, God is everywhere. And I just want to say this, and you guys can disagree with me all you want, but this is my take. God is not everywhere. God is us. God is everything.
Well, I think that's what they're meaning when they're saying
To an
that.
extent, yes.
Is that God is, everything. Every creature, everything is encompassed in that.
Thank you.
When God said, let us make man in our own image, he didn't mean necessarily physically. We are part of God.
But remember, man wrote that.
You got to remember, though, all those books that were written by men, that was spiritually inspired writings. That was the Spirit of God coming into man and making him write that stuff down.
Chosen by man, kept in vaults by man, and
here's one issue that I'm not with what happened there.
Go ahead, Robert.
Is every current Bible translation basically is based off of the King James translation, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, that King James translation was created when King James gathered all the known texts, biblical texts from that time period together, and had copies sent to 15 world-renowned scholars. Those 15 different scholars each each transcribed a copy of the Bible. Some of them were short, some of them were full transcriptions. And he made a choice on which one he thought was the best transcription of the text at the time, and that's what we're going with. I want to know what the fuck was on the rest of those scrolls. What books of the Bible were left out of that King James original translation?
You've got to get to the Vatican to find that out.
Right. See, and I don't argue that.
I know that, and that's why I have such a problem with Catholicism, is because of those vaults and what they have locked up that they won't let anybody see.
And like I said in my comment, if you guys saw it, the reason they hide that information is because the true history of Earth and the true history of our origins and our beginnings would completely unravel everything they've told us about science and history, and it would reveal the truth. It would unravel the whole lie that has been presented to us.
I don't know if it'll unravel all of it, but it will definitely give us a lot of keys to a lot of mysteries that we haven't been able to solve yet.
Let me ask you guys this. Have you read the Book of Urantia?
No. I don't think I've even heard that one.
All right. No, I don't think I've heard of it either.
Please write down Book of Urantia. It's I think it's URAT TIA. The Book of Urantia was written by angels, by a Christian God. And it's the story of the beginning of the planet Earth. Read the Book of Urantia. And then come back and talk to me a little bit about this stuff. It's funny hearing about Christians talking. Oh, the Book of Enoch is different, Philip. But hearing about Christians talk about Christianity is like hearing about cops talking about the latest weed bust.
We need to keep in mind, though, also that there are 3 books of Enoch. And the second and third Enochs are not viable works to be trusted. They are written by the Cain bloodline, Enoch.
We have a
Not
lot to
Enoch,
learn from each
not the other
guys.
Enoch that was taken by the archangels to heaven and shown the portals and shown the mysteries and the truths and explained to what everything was and how all it worked.
You know,
That's first Enoch.
I am fascinated by Christian mythology. I have to admit, one of my favorite comic books is Constantine. If you guys don't know Constantine, you're at a loss. But you know, the mythology is the mythology, right? But it goes deeper than the Enoch. It goes deeper than Abraham. And there's a history behind this that is only held in one place. Guess where that is?
The vault of the Vatican?
The vault of the fucking Vatican.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. The library at Alexandria.
Even though still with the available information that we have, the Bible, the Book of Jasher, the Book of Enoch, the Book of Jubilees, all these different books that we have available to us, we can cross-reference and we can compare what we hear against what the Bible says to verify, to see if it lines up with Scripture or not.
And here's one of the most amazing things about this whole subject is that the Bible, whether you believe it was, ordained by God or not, with what is said in there, the references to historical battles, to locations of cities, to individuals, has been proven fact over and over and over again by archaeology. They have found these sites and they have shown that, yes, it dated to this exact time that the Bible said it did. And more or less, yeah, there was a battle here or there was a city here and this is how it was destroyed. So some of the, pretty much every time the archaeologists have tried to track down historical locations based on what the Bible says, it's been proven right over and over again.
Provided they interpret the information correctly, yes. They have been right a lot.
Here's my question for you. Based upon your guys' knowledge of these religions, what is the interpretation? What is the end result? What's going to happen? What do you guys feel is coming?
Okay, I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness.
That's interesting, Robert. Okay.
Well, I've got two words.
Wait,
God wins.
Robert, excuse me, Sea Monkey. Robert,
No,
could you explain to anybody who's not familiar with what a Jehovah's Witness is, what that is?
Well, it's a Christian denomination. They've basically, I guess, more or less, they've got their own. We've got our own translation of the Bible. It's called the New World Translation of the Holy Scriptures. It's not a King James version. It's based on it's based on the King James original translation, but it's been retranslated. So there's very slight differences. I mean,
Is there an end of the world mythology or anything like that we need to be aware of?
well, I mean, to an extent. I mean, the Bible does talk about in Revelations how it's going to end. And there's going to be a tribulation and all that good shit. But what the main difference between most Christian, one of the main things that I could say actually separates the Jehovah's Witnesses from the rest of the Christian denominations is Jehovah's Witnesses believe that only 144,000 individuals are actually going to heaven.
That's a very specific number.
It is. And because God, his initial plan was for everybody to live in a paradise on earth. We weren't, according to their beliefs, we weren't meant to be spiritual beings. We were meant to have earthly lives. And they believe that after the tribulation and like a somewhat of like a judgment day or whatnot, but people will be resurrected in a paradise on earth. And 144,000 people will be the little flock, the chosen few that are actually in heaven helping to supervise.
What would get the people chosen from the other people?
They more or less just know it, the core of their being, that they are of the anointed.
So interestingly, so you were raised amongst that. Do you believe you are part of the 144,000 or apart from it?
Yeah, no, I'm not part of that. And this is an issue where my dad has a real problem with me. But in a way, I feel that I've got a little bit different calling. It's not the preaching work. It's not all this other crap. I am here to help people survive. When the tribulation happens or whatnot, that's why I have taught myself how to find edible and medicinal wild plants and mushrooms, how to hunt, how to fish, how to make arrowheads out of rocks, just like the natives did. I'm going to keep as many people alive for as long as possible when shit hits the fan. That's my purpose.
Do you think the shit's going to hit the fan soon?
Personally, with everything I'm seeing, I think we might see it. I think I might see it in my lifetime, yeah.
I know, that's kind of where I'm at.
It might be a while. I might be a really old man, but...
For anybody who's listening right now who is maybe not part of our community and doesn't really know you or me or anyone else, what advice would you give them at this point in time? What is it, August 11th? August 12th? What advice would you give them right now?
To get a book on edible wild plants for your area.
So whether or not if you're in Massachusetts or in California, wherever you are, get some edible wildlife plant guide.
Yeah, guides on plants and mushrooms.
Edible. Are you saying that because you think that there's going to be a food shortage?
Well,
regardless of what happens.
The problem is yeah, there will be, because you got to look at the rural regions where you've got a lot of your large farms where most of the produce is made. There's very few people making that.
Well, even the Bible says there will be famines.
Yes, the majority of the people are living in cities. Where are they going to get food? They're going to have to go out into the countryside to try to get it. It's not going to be pleasant, because people are going to try to defend their property and their crops and their livelihoods.
You guys, if I ask you a question that you think is basic, it's not because I disagree with you or I'm condescending upon you. I just want to make sure the bases are covered.
I think I might have got a little off a topic there, but re-ask the question.
Well, I was just saying that you mentioned that you would want to get some way of getting edibles aside from the grocery store.
Exactly, because
Either
I don't
grow it-
believe be able. It's going to come to a point, I believe personally, where more or less it's all shut down.
You're going to need personal survival skills.
And I think if shit really hits the fan and the governments collapse, then the silver is good for maybe 6 months. After that, it's going to be worthless again. And
That's really interesting of you to say. So, like, what I've been telling people, and I don't mean to cut, Robert, I'm sorry, pause what you're going to say. What I've been telling people, and this is not on chat because I have not been streaming lately, but what I've been telling people is have patience, because right now the banks own everything. Banks are running the show in terms of spot price of silver and gold, spot price of rhodium, of coal, of oil, you name it. So
Now,
have patience.
One moment. Correct me if I'm wrong, Robert, but was the point you were kind of trying to make was if there's nothing left to buy, what good is money?
Well, in a way.
Yeah, I mean, if shit hits the fan to that point and there's nothing left to buy where everyone's basically growing their own stuff and taking care of themselves and no one's relying on a whole lot of barter and trade, then yeah, like you said, the silver's not going to have a whole lot of value.
No, then it'll become barter and trade. Silver's going to hold for a little bit, but once people realize that that's just a piece of metal, then it's all barter and trade. What can you do for me?
Right.
It's like you guys are getting to the next stage of the Road Runner or the Road Warrior complex, and that
food
is
and ammo are going to be more
Armageddon.
Oh, I love that. I love that movie series.
It's a great movie series, but that's like next level.
I gotta go grab my charger.
Charge it.
Yeah. When we get to that point, ammo and food are going to be more valuable than precious metals. We're going to be trading food for ammo and ammo for food.
And God forbid we ever get there.
Oh,
God
man.
we ever get there.
Oh.
You know, I've
you
got
and me both, brother.
1,000 rounds of 7.62 by 39 ammunition, and I've got buckshot, and I've got all kinds of ammunition loaded up. God forbid I ever have to use it, right?
You and me both, brother. You and me both.
But unfortunately, I think it's
in that, like that stuff is stuff you need to have. If you guys want to have that conversation, we can have that conversation.
It's looking like we're headed to that point quick, though. Unfortunately.
But the people in the chat know this stuff already. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to preach to the choir. The people in the chat, like Henry Bob Mega, Gail Marie, Daryl USA, they know how to protect themselves. Rocky Mountain Bear, you're gonna tell me he doesn't have ammo stacked up?
How many people are familiar with what's going on in like Italy and France with the massive protests right now?
Oh well, you know what? I could tell you
a lot of us are.
I'm not.
And Germany, I mean, France has had protests of hundreds of thousands of people for a couple of weeks now.
But see, I will point out one thing though. Some of those other countries that are protesting are also unarmed. That's all they can do is protest.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, that's all they can do is protest. Americans are still sitting on their butts because they know protesting doesn't do any good. When we stand up, that's when there's going to be the problem.
The mass media will not allow the Americans to know what's going on right now in the other countries with those massive.
All right,
and that's
you guys. Let me ask you this question, and I'm probably going to get banned from StreamYard for asking this. What was the biggest mistake of January 6th?
The biggest mistake of January 6th. That's,
I'm going to tell you what I think.
personally don't think that the people should have forcibly breached the Capitol. Although some of it you can see in some of the videos where Capitol police officers were actually ushering people in after the initial breach had been made. Overall, yeah, I think there was a lot of disrespect that happened to the Capitol. I understand the reasoning behind it, of being a show of, this is actually the people's house. We own this. You don't. But
Hey, David Carlisle, how's it going? And people are freaking out. They're like, whoa.
And as much truth as that statement may hold, they have the military and the judges on their side, and they can do what they did and round the people up and put them in indefinite detention for no reason because of it.
Indefinite and in solitary, and it's a bunch of bullshit. But you know, it shouldn't. What happened shouldn't have happened. I agree. But a statement needed to be made in a way. It was made in a wrong way.
Agreed.
It wasn't executed properly, and the government is
terrified.
Political bullshit, and it's not right.
They're terrified of what they saw, and they're responding in kind.
Right, and that's why they're trying to take our firearms.
Exactly.
Okay.
They know they're proper.
There were not a whole lot of firearms going off there.
No, there wasn't. It was actually very peaceful.
Yeah.
There was one that went off, and it was in the hand of an officer.
It was an officer that shot the neck of a cuckoo who was trying to break into was it a House of Representatives chamber, and she got shot in the neck.
It was an officer that shot an American service member.
Exactly. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, bro. It was not just some crazy lady.
She was a veteran and unarmed.
Dude, there's so much surrounding that day. It's ridiculous.
About the Capitol officer that died, and then it come to find out that he died of natural causes. It had nothing.
They tried to say he got bashed over the head with a fire extinguisher like 6 times. Then it came out he died of a heart attack.
But
after getting the jab.
Here's what's really scary, is that 4 Capitol police officers now that were there have committed suicide, supposedly.
Arkancide.
Exactly. But why? Yeah, because why would they commit suicide? Because they were an officer present at the time?
They knew too much.
Now, let me stop you guys before anybody gets into trouble. Because if anybody's going to get into trouble, it's going to be me. Do you mind if I take 2 seconds and just tell you what I think should have been different?
We've all got our own opinions.
Yeah, we do. Listen, when the time comes that your elected representatives don't represent you anymore, and they only represent those who can afford to pay for your re-election, well, you're no longer a representative of the people.
Exactly.
And it is my interpretation of the Constitution is that we are a representative democratic republic. And our representatives don't necessarily need to be risen up financially, they can, come up through popularity and any other means. But unfortunately, through our system, it takes money to be a representative or a senator, right?
Yep.
But because of that, through time, our elected representatives in Senate and in the House have sided themselves with those who can pay for their future, their future, and they don't represent us anymore. Then they represent those of the wealthy. The wealthy being major multinational corporations, not the people. Because the people generally, by and large, can't afford to fund, their re-election campaigns.
But can I jump in real quick?
Yes.
That's one of the problems I have with the current supposed science around this virus and vaccine, because it's all paid for by government, and people are going to say what the government wants them to say in order for them to continue getting funding. And anybody who agrees with the narrative gets shut down, no matter how long they have been doctors.
And as much as you don't want to believe it, all science is subject to corruption because it's monetized.
Exactly. It's paid for. And so
anytime there's money involved, corruption can come into play. If there's money involved, people will lie.
Well,
exactly.
The damn shame of it all.
There's no damn
shame.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the damn shame of it all is that you guys are right. That the vaccine was a horrible rollout, and I don't blame anybody for being distrusting of it. The shame is that it works. I'm a testament of it. I took the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, and that was after I got COVID, and then I did just to double up on it. And the damn shame of it is that the vaccine will only, at this point, help slow down deaths. That the virus in itself is going to kill a hell of a lot of fucking people. And if you're not vaccinated at this point, you're at risk of dying. And well, fuck you. If you die, I'm sorry. You're gonna die. If you're if you're in that risk level, you're gonna die. You have the chance to get the vaccine. The vaccine will give you the sniffles if you get the virus. You don't want to get the vaccine? Okay, you're probably going to get a severe illness, potentially die. If that's the case, I'm sorry.
I'm one of those that's not going to get the vaccine because I don't trust it.
Then you might die, dude.
The freaking virus.
I might die, but I think I actually I've been in contact with COVID when it first came out in February of 2020. I was in contact with. Huh?
Did you get tested to find out? So you didn't feel any responsibility to your brothers and sisters in your neighborhood to find out whether or not you had it?
I didn't even know until months later.
You didn't know you were sick until months later?
I didn't get sick.
Exposure builds immunity.
I didn't get sick, and this is what I'm saying, is that somebody like my brother-in-law's my half brother's fucking brother-in-law, his son or something, was actually in that part of China near Wuhan and came back to the United States just before the lockdowns and was in contact with the few people that I am in contact with on a regular basis. Because I don't go out, I don't go to clubs, I go to work.
How did you know that you had it?
I don't.
Okay.
I can't see
Enough
for a
said.
fact that I did.
Enough said. Enough said. You don't know.
He
So-
says he suspects that he came in contact with it. He never said he had it.
Okay. Well, enough said. There's no scientific data here. I'm sorry. You know, it's not enough to even speculate on. Because
I may or may not have come in contact with it, but
Well,
I've
the thing-
also not ever worn a mask and not changed up my routine at all, and I've never gotten sick.
I had second party contact with somebody that is known to have had the original virus in February of 2020. I didn't find that out until about 6 months later.
6 months. Okay. You guys,
But
it's
see,
not
I'm from the generation when our parents would take us to the neighbor's house when the neighbor's kid had chicken pox,
Yeah,
so that we would get chicken pox.
same here. They fucking did the same shit with me.
That's what my generation was from. Exposure builds immunity.
Yep.
and
You don't
that's
need
what
a
this is
fucking
going
shot.
to be. At this point, that is what it's going to be. I'm not saying I disagree with you guys. I don't. Or your parents. I don't. This virus could have been stopped from the onset if we had some responsible control mechanisms. But it wasn't.
Well, if we had
Now-
responsible mechanisms, the virus would have never been fucking created in a lab in Wuhan.
Or let fucking spread over here.
You know, I am not for gain of function research.
No, gain of function research needs to absolutely be eliminated.
Right?
100%.
I mean,
No matter-
why the fuck would you be experimenting with viruses to gain new functions? I mean, really, I mean,
Well, they try
We're
to claim that
Next level zombie shit here, you guys.
right?
Stop that shit. Gotta stop it now. You know, I
Nip that
agree.
in the butt.
100%.
say we want to create a antivirus just in case this ever becomes transmissible to humans. So your
And
purpose
furthermore,
is possible.
look at Henry von Mega's response. China needs to pay reparations to the world. I agree 100%.
And a good way
know-
for them to do that would be to forgive all U.S. debt.
Yes.
That would be a good
And
start.
guess what? United States funded their research. So if you're going to sue China, you're going to sue yourself.
They partially funded it.
Well, I'm
Yes.
just saying, like, a good start would be for China to forgive all U.S. debt. Then the United States can go about reimbursing us, the people.
You can sue fucking NAFTA. Okay?
This is what I think needs to happen
all
over
bullshit.
over this specific instance is that China owns a lot of U.S. property. China owns a lot of U.S. Treasury bills, or that they put out and sell. Those need to be revoked. Those
That's
need
what
to
I'm
be.
saying. All of that debt needs to be forgiven. All of that property needs to be returned. All of those debt notes and bonds and bills all need to be given
The
back.
to confiscate it all.
Yep. Just completely eliminate any and all debt that the U.S. owes to China. That will help our debt clock out, and then our government can, reimburse us for the fucking bullshit they put us through.
I
by
think that's
using
one.
our
Yeah,
tax
you
dollars
guys
for
are
this.
on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being most likely. Where do you think that's going to happen? You know, 1 to 10.
Let's go a -5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I thought it was about
So,
a 2.
all right. Let
Not a
me
little.
ask you this then question. Let me ask you this question then. When a nation is in debt to another nation, and the national debt is called in, the debtor nation cannot pay the debt. What is going to happen?
Good question. I don't know if it's ever happened in history for anybody to actually know.
It's actually happened quite a few times in history.
Well,
The
okay.
answer is that they go to war.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that we'll be going to war with China. We're already in a cold war with China.
You guys,
Getting warm.
it's
Yeah,
sad.
it is. It's warming up fast.
To say, but the next thing that we're going to see is going to be another war. It's going to be a war over debt. It won't be a war over oil or gold or any other national resource. It will be a war over debt. Whether or not it'll be between the U.S. and China, I don't know. It might be.
Let me ask you this. What about the South China Sea situation?
I was going to just bring that up. We've got warships moving around all over there from different nations. Things are definitely heating up.
I mean, China's trying to claim the entire South China Sea. All the international waters within the South China Sea, they're trying to claim. And we've got people or countries all over the world are sending warships, submarines, everything to that region for war game.
Most of the nations are basically saying to China, fuck around and find out.
Take a step back, you guys. Take a step back. They want it.
Oh,
they
yeah.
want a war with China. Listen,
the cabal definitely wants a war with China.
Hold on. I know it's hard because I speak slowly. Goddamn, they want a war with China because we literally need it. We need an excuse for all the money printing, for the industrial, the military industrial complex to keep going. Needs a war. Just imagine if you took the trillions of dollars we put into the military and we put it somewhere else. Do you think we would have this problem?
I agree with what you're saying, and I will kind of expound on that and say that they need a war. It doesn't have to be a war with China, and I would even go so far as to say that a war with China would actually be detrimental to their global agenda because China is the model that they want to implement around the world. They want the Chinese cooperation and funding, and if they were to go to war with China, I think that would be problematic.
Okay, maybe.
Let me jump in. Everybody keeps saying they. You're talking about the cabal, the people that are trying to run the entire planet. They are the ones, the cabal is what's trying to create these wars and all these problems. We as people, when we get to talk to each other, we can have different opinions, and that's fine. We respect that.
I respect you as a person.
It's the cabal that's trying to rule everything, and they're what's creating the problem.
Right.
Well, yeah.
And
Remember this. Remember this. Because one day you're gonna come across somebody you don't recognize, and they might be armed. Like I've got an AK-47. I've got a number of shotguns, pistols. You know what? One day you're going to confront them and remember they're a person just like you. I'm not fighting you, my man. I'm fighting the cabal.
Yep. But unfortunately, I lost all my firearms in a terrible boating accident.
I'm sorry
I
to
know,
say
right?
that.
It was crazy because it was such a freak accident because I never even went boating.
I wish I could remember the lake I was on.
This has been a very interesting stream. I didn't expect this.
Yeah, when I show up, it can get kind of unexpected. Because if I'm allowed to, I'll just say what's on my mind, but I'll still listen to somebody else's opinion and viewpoints, even if I don't agree with them.
I'm the same way. Like I remember being on a couple of weeks ago, and Charles Latreille was on, and a couple other people, and I went through all of my ideas, and in the end, they were like, "Joe, you're a conservative." I'm like, I'm a total liberal.
You're a classical liberal, bro.
I am a classical liberal, but I'm armed.
Well, even the classical liberals believe in the right to self-defense.
That's right. I'm a liberal. Liberal means freedom. You know? And I want
and that's the
liberality
problem
for you and everybody else.
And and that's the problem. The modern day liberal has hijacked the term liberal, and so it's given classical liberals like yourself, who have more of a conservative value base than a liberal value base, a bad name.
Yes, it has.
Force the viewpoint on somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I agree in fiscal responsibility. I want people. I'm a populist. I want people to do well. And be free of government regulation. And to a certain extent, I want their safety to be taken care of. I don't want people eating rotten meat out of a can, like it was in the 1800s.
And I'll even go back to a couple hours ago. I'd go so far as to say, you are anti-fascist. You are not Antifa. Anti-fascism is an idea. Antifa is a group that is hypocritically using the name.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't agree in fascism at all. Fuck
right.
fascism.
You are anti-fascist as an idea, which is, I am against fascism.
But isn't organization
the group is using that name to push their agenda with fascism.
If there is a group who is using anti-fascism to propagate a fascist ideology, I would fuck with them, right?
The ones walking around dressed in all black, waving the Antifa flags. Those are the ones I'm talking about. The ones walking up to you and punching you in the head because you don't believe what they believe.
Agreed.
Telling you have to believe what they believe, or they're going to kick the shit out of you. That is the definition of fascism. Stop you
for a second? Because I have had good friends of mine who thought they were that, like, good people, who went around beating the fuck out of people who didn't agree with them. And I had to explain to them that they were fascists. and they were all wearing black, and they were all messing with people, and they were all white, and they were all happy to like kick the shit out of everybody. So no,
But that
that label is tough for me to swallow.
right, but that's exactly what Sea Monkey Metals was just saying. You believe in anti-fascism. Those people you were just describing call themselves Antifa, and they consider themselves
They
as a
didn't
group.
call themselves Antifa. They call themselves Trumpers. They were Trumpists. They loved Donald Trump. And they fucking dressed up in black and went around beating the shit out of people. And I was like, you guys,
That was a psyop.
fucking
Not a single red-blooded American who actually supports Trump did that. That was bullshit.
I am living testament to the fact that they did.
I can't say that.
Like,
I can't say that won't happen. I can't say that that won't happen, because there are plenty of people that support Trump that are not good people. You know, there's tons of good people that support Trump, but there are plenty of them out there that are not good people. So
I believe that.
And I would not consider those people red-blooded Americans.
I believe that too.
Pieces of shit.
Do we not want freedom? Right? Do we not want independence of thought? Right?
And that's why I love this stream right now, because we can have a different opinion, but yet we're sitting here having a discussion about it, and we're not fighting.
You're damn right. You know, we're not. And I will actually, if things came down to it, I would be fighting alongside you, because we have agreed on a certain set of principles that I can live with. And that is
ultimately
freedom, liberty in terms of thought, right? Yes. You know, and if it came down to government oppression, we would rise up and overthrow it to make it work for the people.
That's the kicker right there, that the fucking politicians still can't get through their thick skulls, is that, listen, you can try the divide and conquer, when it really fucking comes down to it, we're all gonna band back together and we're gonna say fuck you.
You're goddamn right, we're gonna say fuck you. We're gonna rise us up together. We're gonna take over the country, just like in the Declaration of Independence, and we're gonna fucking make it work for the people again.
If the politicians think the military is gonna protect them, they got another thing coming, because 90% of the people in the military, they're gonna grab whatever they can get a hold of, and they're gonna go home and protect their relatives and their neighbors.
I'm so tired of politicians.
They're not gonna
I'm so tired of that bullshit. That's what I'm saying. We need a fucking a system where people are randomly selected to participate in an election. The government pays for their, you know, their whatever, their political campaign.
In a way, I like a multi-tier, like you said, kind of like a jury selection.
Yes. Yes. That's it. Just like a jury selection. You know?
Definitely got to have the vetting, though, and the testing, because...
Yeah, there'll be some vetting.
We don't need some idiots getting selected for office that don't know what the hell they're doing.
There would be a vetting selection process, and people can vote on the fuckers. If you have an idiot, people are going to see it, you know? It's just
at least we would hope so.
Well, if not, it's a government of the people. If the people that decide to go down in flames, the people ultimately decide to go down in flames. Civilizations, they collapse. Read Collapse by Benjamin Barber. It'll open your eyes. You know? He also wrote Guns, Germs, and Steel. Great book. But ultimately, the people decide where they want to go in life. If the people decide they want to go down in flames, then they fucking go down in flames. I'm sorry. I'm a big fan of the what is it called? The Darwin Awards.
Yes, Darwin Awards.
See,
Remove
that
labor
applies in capitalism too.
themselves out.
That
Let it
applies
go.
in capitalism too. We vote with
It-
our dollars, and if a company is not worth supporting, they should go under.
Yeah. Well, but capitalism is different, though. See, Monkey Mouse, like capitalism is a vile beast, and I want to tell you why. It's because they have no morals. The fundamental purpose of a corporation is to make profits for their shareholders. There's no other considerations. They'll fuck anyone in their path. You
No, I
know?
don't disagree. Then that's called crony capitalism.
Well, and that's what we have. We have crony capitalism, and crony capitalism rules our elected officials, and they need
That
to be discarded.
that's called corporatocracy.
Right.
That's what
And
we
you do have the smaller people though that are just basic capitalists that are like, hey, I've got a business, I've got a service I can offer, and those people are getting fucked over now.
Yeah, and Philip the Board, you're absolutely right. Those are good books, along with Fire and Ice. Anybody who is watching should read those books. And
Send me if you would, Sharp Eye, send me an email with a reading list, and I'll try to find a couple of the books.
yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll have to do that. I'll have to write down this because honestly, I've been drinking, so I have to write down notes.
No, I understand. I've been drinking and smoking and carrying on like usual.
You like Joseph Conrad by any chance?
I'm not familiar with it.
Oh my god. All right.
I like my mushroom books and such.
Joseph Conrad was 18th century, no, actually, 19th century author who it was a basis. He wrote a book which was the basis of a movie you might know called Apocalypse Now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I movie.
All right.
That was like a Mayan type.
Yeah.
When they
Apocalypse Now was with oh man, who was the main star? Marlon Brando starred in it.
Oh.
And it was a ruination of a work by Joseph Conrad about a trip into Africa, and it was called The Heart of Darkness. I'll send you The Heart of Darkness.
Yeah, see, most of what I've read is, most of what I normally read is sci-fi fantasy.
Okay. Well, that's still
love Gene M. All's Clan of the Cave Bear series. Amazing books. There's a lot of good knowledge in there. Oh, Gail Marie, yeah, I need a copy of The Lost Ways. I don't have a copy of it yet. I've got, stuff like Stalking the Wild Asparagus. I've got, I can't remember what the title of the book is. It's a Reader's Digest book about back to basics. That's what it's called. I've got a lot of good books, but yeah, The Lost Ways, I'd love to get those books. So I think it's a series of books. But yeah, I mean, I think everybody should learn what's edible around them in the wild and what's medicinal if they can.
I wish I was smoking with you right now, to be honest.
I wish you were too. I love having company. I hate smoking by myself.
All right,
And
you're
I'm
in
smoking with you,
Colorado,
brother.
right?
Yes, I'm in Colorado, and my roommate went to the dispensary yesterday, and I sent him $100, and he got me 3 different kinds that I'm sitting
Are
here
you
smoking.
like closer to Fort Collins or closer to Denver?
No, I'm in Grand Junction. I'm on the western slope. I'm close to Utah.
Okay.
And like my neighbor made some wax out of some old weed that I had.
Let me tell you something. I love Colorado. If I were to come out there, would you let me stay for a night?
Hell yeah.
Right on. Okay, cool.
Hey, check this out. This book, if you guys can find it, you need to find a copy of this book.
Robert is like a warlock, I think.
You gotta find a copy of this book. This book is amazing. One of the best books Reader's Digest has ever put out.
I have to ask you, Robert, have you practiced magic?
No.
I have.
I mean, with my supposed heritage and everything, I'd probably be decent at it, but I also was raised as a Jehovah's Witness, so
Okay.
kind of a
It says in the Bible, those who practice magic will not enter heaven.
kind of a taboo subject. So yeah, it's something I really dabble in.
It's
About
interesting that the concept of heaven is actually magic.
the closest I get is if I feel, when somebody's coming in and doing some weird shit, or if everything's feeling weird, I'll bust out some white sage and I'll smudge the house.
I smudge my house with white sage to keep out evil spirits.
So I'll do that every now and then if I feel it's needed, but not often. And in a way, that's kind of in the category of magic.
It is.
White sage is a
It's a medicinal herb.
Yeah, it's very good, and it's good for the air. It's good for the lungs. So, Gail
I
Marie,
didn't make you feel uncomfortable at all. I'm sorry if I did. Hey, Perry Moreno.
no, I'm just saying. I've never dabbled in magic.
No, it's all good.
I could probably create objects for people that do dabble, but I feel that objects only have as much power as you give them.
Robert, what do you, when you say you could create objects, like, are you an artist? What do you do?
Oh, I do all kinds of stuff. I'm a flint napper. I taught myself how to flint nap when I was about 13. I started teaching myself so I could take a shard of glass and turn it into a flint nap dagger.
Look at that, you guys. Look at that.
Just like the natives would have done.
That's
I
cool.
make arrowheads. Sometimes they're eccentric. So they've got all kinds of wicked jagged edges and such. I can make stuff. I've made them out of, this is a piece of petrified wood. That's made into an arrowhead.
More. They want more.
Well, this is an interesting piece. This was difficult to do. Had to make just the perfect flake off of my core material and then work the flake down. But this is a trifacial. There's unifacial blades, there's, bifacially mapped, and this is trifacial. I don't know if the camera will show it, but it's actually got like 3 sides, like a pyramid. But it's a spear point.
Is that quartz?
No, this is a piece of glass. This is
that's glass?
I don't know if you're familiar with the term cullet glass. Some
No.
people confuse the terms slag glass and cullet glass. Slag glass is made as a byproduct of like a blast furnace for iron, and it's a lot more porous. It's not very good quality. Like this is like when a glass manufacturer is making vases and bowls and all that such. At the end of the day, when they shut down the factory, if there's still glass left in the furnaces that hasn't been used, they dump it out. And that's cullet glass. And that's what this came off of. But this is a piece of cullet glass that is, it's an art glass, and it's actually got uranium in it. So if I shine a black light on it, rather than pink and white, it turns this neon green.
That's cool. You're being irradiated right now.
It's so minimal, it really doesn't. It wouldn't hurt anybody.
I know. But it's so cool. I'm going to leave you guys. Hold on. I'm going to pause. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
All right. But I also do wood carving. And, I make a lot of walking sticks and staffs and such like that. Just whenever the mood hits me. Some of the stuff I find, like for example, this one. This is it's a cedar tree. This is part of the root ball of a cedar tree. And I found that in a lake, and the beavers chewed off most of the branches and everything. But it just naturally formed itself perfect and comfortable as a walking stick at just the right height.
Nice.
Nothing that needs to be done to this stick, but, like if somebody was into dabbling in magic, they could put a couple of runes or an inscription on it, and that would actually probably be a pretty good staff. Gail Marie, if you want to come, if you're not that far from where I live, just send me an email and come by and visit. But no, like I find, crystals, and I've went out and I know where the wild horses roam, and I could get, some hairs from the wild horses, and there's things that I could gather, and I could construct something like a wand if somebody requested one and wanted one. It's possible to do that, even though the individual that was receiving it would have to give it any kind of substance or power, because I don't really believe in it, so there'd be nothing from me added to it, if that makes any sense.
I don't know. I just kind of see a moral dilemma with that one myself. Being a believer and knowing the taboo nature of magic, to even contribute to it would seem wrong.
I agree with you there, and that's why I've never done it. I
What's up,
understand. I understand the sound of it, but personally, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
What are you guys talking about?
Doing something like being a Christian and creating, like, let's say, a magic wand.
Or someone else.
Oh,
I wouldn't have anything added to it because I wouldn't believe in it and believe in its power.
yeah. Therefore, you couldn't do it because
That
magic is dependent
you could-
upon the belief of the person.
of the
creating it.
wielder. No,
Yeah,
of
exactly.
the wielder. I could create it and not have anything behind it. It's all in who's holding it and wielding it. That's where the power comes from. It's not the object itself. That just allows the transfer of power.
Yes, Robert. Yes, I knew I liked you. Absolutely, 100%.
But as a Christian, it would be very difficult to create that object knowing what it would be used for.
Well,
So-
not necessarily. If your intent was for a Christian purpose, you could definitely create it. You have to think about the fact that Christianity in and of itself is founded upon magic.
Yeah, but how is there a Christian use for a magic wand? That's completely against Christianity.
Well, forget the wand. How about a shroud? How about a shroud? How about a magic shroud that Jesus?
But if you're knowingly contributing to the
Personally, I
act of
don't believe it.
sorcery,
I don't believe it.
you're committing sin.
How about a spear that pierced the body of Christ? Right? That is in legendary, imbued with powers.
I personally would not see how it would be imbued with special powers.
How about what is the other thing? I'm trying to seek of I'm in search of myths associated with the death of Christ that are magically attributed. How about the very resurrection itself? The tomb that was opened.
Well, but again, we're not. But now you're talking not magic. You're talking, spirituality. The actual.
What is magic if not science?
Right, well,
that it cannot be explained.
Hold on. For the most part, in a lot of Christian religions, magic as a separate side from things that are actually divinely interacted with is thought to be demonic in nature.
Why?
Because when Lucifer was revolted,
a rendition of Hades, by the way.
When Lucifer revolted and challenged God or whatnot, him and his followers were cast to the earth. And those demons responsible for what is seen as magic throughout history, according to a lot of Christian beliefs.
I think you said that very well. And I don't know if I necessarily agree with all of it. Because you have to understand the history behind what you just said. Because Lucifer is really just a very rough translation of Hades of the Greco-Roman translation. And Hades is a brother of God, of Zeus, the god of the heavens, and Neptune, the god of the seas, right?
Well,
And
well,
poor
that-
fucking Hades, who
Well,
in that
you-
tradition got subjected to taking care of the underworld, which was the realm of the dead. Wasn't evil by any stretch of the imagination. Hades was not evil.
but that, if you follow the Greco-Roman traditions,
Well, where do you think the Christian traditions come?
well, I understand that it's related.
Yes.
I know that it's related.
They
But
had a,
if you look at what Christianity believes outside of the Greco-Roman traditions, is that Lucifer was supposedly the most beautiful angel. He was
God's right-hand man.
right, and he rebelled and tried taking over and tried taking power.
Wait, time out.
And he-
Because Gail Marie just had a great comment. She said, Jesus said, "You're temples of God," which we are, and we have the same spiritual powers he has. And that lends itself to my whole point, is that Jesus was trying to tell us that treat each other as we would treat him. We have to treat each other as we would treat him. We are all brothers and sisters of God.
and treat each other as we would want to be treated.
Yes. But furthermore, treat each other like we would treat God in our house, because you should be treated like God to me.
No, I kind of disagree. I mean, nobody should be worshipped but God.
Now, I'm not saying I worship you, but I treat you with the respect, admiration, and love. What it comes down to is love.
Yeah.
I treat you with the love that I would treat God. And
our
not worship you, but love you like I would love God.
Most of this coin community, we love each other, and we show it on a regular basis. We can see it. We don't have to even know each other. We've never met. We've talked with each other on YouTube. We've chatted.
And I gotta tell you, I'm so happy that you came up on the stream tonight, because I have had a good time with you, Robert. Seriously, I've had a great time with you and talking about all this stuff. And I think by and large we agree on most of it. Am I wrong?
No, we definitely agree. We've got a slightly different viewpoint of some subjects, and there's some things that we disagree on, but nobody's perfect. Nobody's going to be a perfect match. We can't agree on everything. That would make everything boring.
I was just about to say that would make everything boring. Yeah, for real. Listen, man, you're dope smoking, humanity loving, populist, libertarian idealist that I love. And I would put myself in the same category, except I don't smoke.
Yeah, I am who I am. I don't try to pull any punches. I don't try to sugarcoat anything. I've got an opinion, and I'm going to state it. And if people don't like that opinion, well, that's their opinion. They don't have to like my opinion. They don't have to agree with it. But if it makes them butt hurt and they don't want to talk to me anymore, well, have a nice life. But that's why I love somebody like you that can have a different opinion and be okay with that.
Oh
Well, see,
yeah, I
that's
mean,
the definition of tolerance. And what the modern liberal doesn't have is actual tolerance.
I'm gonna take it a step further and say is the definition of acceptance.
Well, yeah,
Because I don't
I
tolerate
agree.
you, bro. It's like you annoy me, but I have to tolerate you. Hell with that. I think you have a valid opinion, and
Well, I've been told
I
once
accept
that I'm annoying. Okay, I know I'm annoying.
Sorry,
It's
I'm
the
trying to
fly.
get my.
Actually, that was actually on one of my report cards in like 4th or 5th grade. One of the teachers wrote, "Seems to find delight in annoying people."
You're like, hell yeah, I do. Always be trolling.
Well, it's like I don't like arguing with anybody, but I love having an animated discussion.
Oh, a good debate's always great.
Well, what happened to Sharp Eye for Coins?
He must himself out.
I'm still here. If you can hear me, I'm just trying to get my camera to get back on, and
We got you.
It's
So
not.
I'm just going to excuse myself from this one.
No, can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
can hear you.
All right, right on. All right, cool. Well, we got like 18 people in the chat. I'm gonna get to bed. John Ruck, welcome back. He says, this is going to be with us forever, so we need to learn to live with it, not to try to kill it. It will never be down. Epsilon, then Zebra. And in a way, I agree with him. Yeah, the next thing is going to be COVID, Epsilon variant, all the way to Zeta variant. We can't let the media control us. It's going to become, listen, we have to evolve with it, So Delta, Epsilon, Theta, Zeta. It's going to be bad, but we'll have to learn to live with it and not lose our humanity in the process. I love you guys, no matter what. I love you for being who you are. I love you for being Americans. I love you for, fighting for liberty and in respecting me for my opinions. You have to know that I'm going to respect you for your opinions and fight against those who have outrageous wealth and outrageous fortune who want to rule you. And ultimately, that's the enemy. That's
Sharp Eye, can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah, my friend.
Have you seen a recent video by the guy that actually created mRNA vaccines?
No.
About the mandates and everything? Yeah, you might want to look that one up. And he actually talks about how it's quite possible that it's creating some of those variants.
Spike proteins.
Yep.
Well,
the guy that created the technology that these vaccines are based on is saying no to mandated vaccines, and is saying they're dangerous. What they're doing is dangerous.
The reason they have never gotten approval yet. They've been testing those on animals for decades.
You guys are preaching to the choir, because what they're doing is dangerous without a doubt. Daryl USA, if you want that shirt, send me an email. It's sharpeyeforcoins@gmail.com. I'll send it to you. No worries. Carrie Baxter's absolutely right. don't let the media control it. Find your alternate media source. Lately, I've been watching Breaking Points with Crystal and Sagar.
If I wound up with that PCGS shirt, I'd probably burn it.
I know you would. Hey, listen, ultimately, we got to stick together as people. Otherwise, what's the fucking point? I got to tell you, I got a lot of friends. I got right wingers that I hear conspiracies and shit. Like, you guys haven't even, you've heard, but you haven't mentioned, thankfully, on my stream. And I'm like, you guys, you got to control your sources. You got to source your material. Who's coming up with this shit?
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's amazing how many people believe in junk. You guys have had some good opinions, I think, thought out, and I appreciate you coming up. Thank you.
No problem, brother. I love coming up and hanging out with somebody where we can have an actual discussion about a current important topic and have different points of view, different opinions, but yet we can discuss it in a public forum in a civilized manner, and we can walk away at the end of the night and still be friends.
That's it.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
That's what matters. And that's kind of what's special about our coin community, is that we can do it. Uh-oh. I think we lost Sharp Eye again.
Yeah, this is a very accepting community. I was very surprised when I got in here to notice and see just how accepting everyone was of anyone else.
Yeah, that's exactly why we have to kick the shit out of people who will take advantage of it.
And yeah, that's like, I'm not going to say names, but since you bring that up, certain individuals still has
Go ahead.
answered emails.
Oh, like that. I'm a. What was his name? He was a hero at 9/11, and
No,
was
a different person. A different person, not the one that was that was the stolen valor person saying that they were a 9/11.
Are you shitting me? There's another one?
Recently I had, with help of Mad Stacker, I had auctioned.
Go ahead.
And during the auction, number one Thug Stacker bought items and bought items with giveaways and this and that. Still have anything. They hit me up with an email saying they had messed up, they needed some time, and asked if I would, take $50 payments every Sunday. And I can work with that. I'll help you out if you overextend yourself. I can understand. And so I set up a PayPal invoice, and I set it up with that I would take payments, and I have had no communication with them. 2 weeks, for 2 or 3 weeks, I'm saying, hey, this person hasn't paid me. And then it started supposedly a whole bunch of drama.
I am sorry to hear that you went through that. I mean, as a seller, myself, sometimes that sounds like a nightmare scenario. Nightmare.
Well, I think what's worse about it is that we continue to see that person in other people's streams continuing to do business.
Name them.
And those people know that that has happened, and they continue to support them. And so I have actually unsubscribed to quite a few channels lately.
Would you name them?
It's Coin Crew Thug. #1 Coin Crew Thug. That's I haven't been paid by them. They bought $318 at the auction. 135 of it was as giveaways. I know that they sent lead in fake silver instead of silver to Dreadpool for sticker design. There's multiple people supposedly have been screwed over. I don't know all of them, but there's a lot of people that haven't gotten their money or were screwed over in one way or another.
That sucks balls. I will tell you, I was sketchy with Coin Crew Thug or #1 Coin Crew Thug. One of my own auctions, maybe 3 months ago, because I haven't had auctions frequently. And he bought something and never paid for it.
Yep.
Dude, that bad vibe right off the bat. Just
to me, I was just like, I still have the item, so I'm not going to chase him down. I'm not going to run after him. I'm not going to make a scene, and so I let it go.
Right, and I'm pretty much letting it go. I'm pretty much done with it. I never sent off his items because he never paid. The items that he bought as giveaways, I did send off. Because
I wouldn't do that.
Well, those people had also bought stuff at the auction, and they had paid for their items.
But see, if you win something that someone donates as a giveaway, you shouldn't be responsible to lose that win because the person didn't pay for it.
Sea Monkey medals, and I agree 100%, and that's exactly what I did. I've talked to both of them.
Right.
One of the people was actually trying to pay for the item that they were given.
Right.
And I told him, no, that's not your responsibility. That was a giveaway. You did not bid on that. You weren't trying to get that. You did not commit to paying anything for that item. I don't expect you to pay anything for that item.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'd feel pretty shitty if I won a 2020 Proof Libertad and then the dude that gave it away never paid for it and I didn't get it because of it.
Well,
that would be a pretty shitty deal.
Well,
I agree, you got to send out the wins. And if they never get paid for, then you're screwed.
Well, there's one package I haven't sent off yet. That's one of those giveaways. But that person was not even in the auction.
Oh, it's Sharp Eye for Coins?
2 of the items that were bought as giveaways were sent to people that it was given away to.
Joe's like, oh, was that for me? I'm here now.
Wait, Henry Von Mega says I have a piece that my Sigma didn't verify, and it was a gift from Kerry Baxter, purchased on Sharp Eye for Coins about a month ago. Interesting. So, what did the Sigma not verify, Henry? I need to know. I'll back that up, whatever it was.
What was it?
I know. Let him tell.
I shouldn't have to send them packages twice. I just put it all together and expected that I was going to get paid. It just never happened.
That's right. I mean, I take pictures of everything that I send, I am. It's really well documented. I don't care, Henry, if it's silver or gold. I don't care. A Sphinx piece. I don't recall
Well,
even having a Sphinx piece that I sent. That's not
you know,
me.
I
I didn't have
also
a
love
Sphinx piece.
I love the people in the community that the stuff was given away to. So I more or less told them, it's, you know what, now just consider it a gift from me. At this point, I know I'll never get a penny from that person. So it's like, you know what, I just want you to just keep it and enjoy it.
That's about right. That's about right. A gift is a gift. I haven't been on Ida Herring's channel in a bit, but she's got something coming up pretty soon. Like Christmas in August or September.
Well, today, or no, that was Sue Hatton's today, not Ida Herring's, but Sue Hatton.
Ida has the Secret September Santa thing going on.
Yeah, Secret September Santa. Yeah, Sue Haddon. I just don't. I don't
Well,
do it.
let me say this. I show up there every now and then just to try to give her a little bit of support. But right now, somebody in the community that I'm sure you've seen, A.G. Price. Are you familiar with A.G. Price?
Okay, what's going on with that?
No. Or fortunately or unfortunately, I know, depending on the story. I no, it's not familiar.
Well, A.G. Price apparently is trying to sell off his silver and such to cover the expenses for a double lung transplant.
And I stay away from situations like that. I mean, I love people, but I've been burned too many times. I'm sorry, I'm jaded.
I understand that as well. I fully understand that sentiment.
Yeah, I've got a hard time with the benefit auctions because they can be taken advantage of. I have seen A.G. Price around a lot. I can't necessarily vouch to his behavior because I haven't observed it. Although someone like Teacher, I can definitely vouch for his generosity. I've seen that guy outbid people 4 times what items are worth, win the auction, and then turn around and give it to the person he was bidding against.
Yeah.
And so, that is beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. And,
so when you witness that kind of stuff, you can kind of get an idea of people's character. Honestly,
and that's how it should be.
I can't attest to A.G. Price's character, but I have seen him around the community quite a bit.
Yeah, no, he seems to be a solid person. So I don't know.
Let me interrupt you real quick. Let me interrupt you. Carrie Baxter and Henry Von Mega, thank you so much for letting me know it wasn't me. It makes me feel a lot better. I always assume anything I sell, you guys will contact me if you're dissatisfied, and I'm glad it wasn't my stuff. So thank you, and peace, love, and unity, John Rock, the Doug, as always. Anyway, you guys, A.G. Price has helped out numerous people as well many times, says Philip the Board. That's cool. All right, so yeah, I
and that's why I said I personally can't attest to his behavior because I haven't observed it, but I'm sure other people have.
I've helped out people before, and those people have burned people at their auctions, and so I feel like I can't promote it anymore without really knowing who the people are who are doing the benefit. It's sad. It's sad that so many people have ruined it.
I really appreciate everybody helping me get my dad's 72 Blazer.
You know, see, another way I look at it though is there's a difference between selling off your own stuff, even if you're doing it deceptively and saying, oh, I need money for this XYZ fuckity fuck reason, as opposed to asking for donations to sell to raise money for some kind of thing. Like there was a gal who was talking about brain surgery, and people were donating stuff to her so she could sell it to raise money for this medical procedure. And who knows whether or not that was legit or not.
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah,
Hey,
there was speculation around whether or not she was actually going to go in and have brain surgery or if she was just scamming the community. But that was it's Susie Q 96, I believe, something like that.
Oh, really?
So you got to be careful. You got to be careful. By and large, you have to be careful.
Now that
You know,
that I haven't seen that name in a long time now, in quite a while.
Right. And so the speculation is either she bailed after she made the money or she's actually in the hospital and underwent the surgery or whatever.
and how are you really gonna know?
Exactly. You know, and then when it comes to the stolen valor, that was Colorado coins and cabochons.
Yes.
Oh,
And
jeez.
and so, you know, you don't ever
promised
know.
me a return and all the investment. Yeah, I you know, not one person who has benefited has contacted me to let me know they have received their in-kind donations.
So,
Colorado.
I mean, it's like I said, it's one thing to sell off your own stuff, even if you're doing it under a deceptive reason. You know, you could just want the money to invest in crypto, and you're like, I need to save my house. Okay, it's your stuff. You can sell it. That's fine. Now the deception comes where people are going to overpay because they think they're helping you save your whatever versus you just trying to make money.
Right.
But when you're asking for donations, that's just wrong. Or even taking donations, you know, because people are generous. That's just wrong.
I wasn't asking for donations.
No. I wasn't saying that. I was talking.
I understand. I know. I was just saying I auction off my own stuff that I've bought through the coin community.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with people doing that. You know, it's your stuff.
No, like listen. Let's put it in context, okay? Like I have been collecting for over a year and a half. I probably have $45,000 worth of coins, right?
Yeah.
If I need to sell it in a pinch, let's say the market's tight, you know, and silver goes down to $18. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, you guys, I need to sell my shit. I'm struggling. It's an auction. It's an auction for me, and I'm going to put it up at auction for myself, right? At a loss, if I have to.
And I believe you because I've seen you do it. I've seen you sell stuff below spot.
Everything on my auction, I started way below spot.
I bought stuff from you below spot, Joe. Hi, Paula.
Well, a lot of people have. That's the deal. But chances are, I bought it below that spot. You know,
right? And I don't mind you making a profit, even if it wasn't much. You know,
if it's like $2, $4
this time, Joe.
Hi, Paula. What did you say?
Hi. I said, are you going to leave me up here this time?
I will. I've been trying to get you on. How are you?
How are you? How was your vacation?
All right, I'm going to step away from
pretty spectacular. Like I would say,
you haven't sent me any pictures.
I know. You know, honestly, like I got a cold when I came back from the trip. It might be the Delta variant. Who cares?
Whatever.
You know, it's the sniffles.
You've got a cold.
I got
Pretty soon
busy.
it's gonna be
with
the
work
lambda,
today,
lambda,
blah,
lambda
blah,
variant.
blah, blah, blah. I'm an asshole.
Have you noticed how nobody got the flu this year? What the hell's up with that?
Because
Oh,
COVID is the flu.
Hello.
You're wrong.
Anyway,
But
how are you
you're
guys
right.
doing? Are you guys just up here cackling like a bunch of gossipy women?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
basically.
Waiting for you to join us.
Yeah.
How are you, Paula? What's going
I'm
on?
tired. I'm tired. I have insomnia tonight, and it's not good. I need to be
Yeah.
sleeping. You know, my daughter had her baby.
I know. Congratulations, Grandma Mama.
Yay.
What do you want to be called? Is it
Grandma. Grandma.
Oh, Grandma. That's simple.
Yep.
You're a
That's
true
what I want to be
American.
called. I want to be grandma. I earned it.
It's so funny how everybody's so different on that. My mom, I tried to tell my son, I was like, this is grandma. She's like, I'm not grandma, I'm Nana.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I was like Grandma Nana.
Grandma Nana.
My
granddaughter.
daughter's got a grandma and a baka and a nona.
Well, my son called my mom Ba for a long for years. I think it was because he was used to saying mom, and I don't know. But he ended up calling her grandma. My granddaughter
That's
called
actually
me
grandma in Japanese.
Is it?
Yeah,
Well, my son did not know Japanese. I can guarantee
yeah.
you.
Ba-kan is grandma in Japanese.
He barely spoke English. And my granddaughter called me Mama for just up until probably 6 months ago. And then finally she said grandma.
Aw. I've heard mama and mima. Be thankful
Mima,
you're not
yeah.
mima.
No,
Mima.
I want to be, I mean, they'll call me what they want to, but I'm going to encourage grandma.
You're
Thanks,
so
Philip.
not a
Thanks,
mima.
everybody.
You say Mima now, and all I think is Hillary Clinton.
Oh, that wasn't the first
That
thing that
old
came to my
Mima
mind,
bit.
but
Yeah, no comment.
yeah. I can think of a lot of other words that Hillary Clinton would come to my mind, but that's not one of them. Anyway.
So, hey, I'm curious, Paula, did you get the peace dollar or the new Philly Morgan?
I did.
You did?
I got one of every single one of them. And I'm
Cool.
selling every single one of them, except for maybe the piece.
How much do you want for all of them and the piece?
I'll tell you what the market is when I get them in hand. I already told people, I said, I sold my usually when I do that, when I buy things from the mint and then I turn around and sell them, like I sold my ASE, my W proof ASE. I sold my 1/10 gold and I made like $10 off of each one because I really just kind of ordered those to test the website to see if they really made improvements.
Okay.
So I turned around and I sold them, like the ASE I sold to Sean, the gold I sold to Michael Kittle. Both my friends just here's what I'll sell it to you for. So I figured I'll make a couple bucks, and then if they want to, they can turn around and make some money. With these, I don't plan on selling to any of my friends because I'm selling them because it's right around Christmas time. And I bought them because I knew I wouldn't want them. And I had a feeling that they would do very well on the market. And yes, I'm going to take advantage of the market. And I don't want to take advantage of any of my friends. So if you didn't get them, I suggest waiting until after they've been received. I think that they're going to go up, and then I think they're going to go down for a bit, and then I think they're going to go back up.
Let me tell you,
think
Paula,
it would be a dip.
I don't care about them at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. They represent no interest to me because they're not original. They're not even the same specs. To me, I just don't give a shit.
It's a gimmick.
I like yourself. I got the American Gold Eagle. I haven't got rid of that either. But if I do pick it up, like you said, I'll wait until it dips and
Yeah.
I'll buy it.
Yeah, I will probably keep the Peace Dollar because I do think the Peace Dollar is, and not that I'm saying anything bad about people who collect Morgans. Everybody collects what they love. I just am not a fan of it. But I do love the Peace Dollar. I think she's beautiful.
Oh,
And I
she's
love
hot. The Peace Dollar design is incredible.
Yeah. And it would be cool to. Do you know that I don't even own a Peace Dollar?
No, I didn't know that. Are you kidding?
I don't own one. Yeah, so I would like to try to pick up eventually a 21 high relief, a 19.
I have one. I'll trade you.
You'll what?
I'll trade you.
You'll
I have
trade
a
me?
21 high relief.
Yeah. Well, maybe
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
talk because I would like to have one of the 1921 high relief and then the 2021. That's
Ooh.
kind of why, if I can pick one up, yeah. So I don't know. I haven't really made my mind up. It's really going to depend kind of on my financial situation around that time. And
Are you going to get them slabbed together in a single slab?
no.
And see, that would be cool. You'd have a 21 high relief set.
It would, but it would be something I would keep for my own collection. So I see no point in paying money to have it graded.
Well, Paula, how about I send you a picture of what I have? Because nothing would give me more pleasure than knowing that you had the 21 Peace Dollar that I had in your collection that you kept.
Which
So
yeah,
then,
we'll talk because so did you not get all of the Morgans?
oh, I didn't go for one of them.
Oh, you didn't get any of them.
Not a Morgan, not a Peace Dollar. I was at Disney when the latest releases came out.
Oh,
and
right.
I missed out. Yeah, the only thing that I got recently was the American Gold Eagle, and of course a bunch of the proof American Silver Eagles with the West Point Mint Mark. Waiting on the silvers.
Yeah,
I
I
got
saw.
a type set of those available for sale.
You have what?
A type set, type 1 and type 2 silver, type 1 and type 2 gold 1/10 ounce. All 4 coins. I'm selling them as a set.
Yeah, I thought about going for that. You got the bullion though, right?
No, they're the West Point proofs.
Oh, you got the proof. Yeah, I thought about going for the set on the 1/10, but I changed my mind. But anyway, yeah, we'll talk, Joe, because for sure, I am getting the. I got the W proof Type 2 ASE, and like I said, I sold that. It came in and it went out. I didn't even open the box. And in fact, Joe, you should go watch Blue Ridge's opening of that package.
Well,
it's pretty. Yeah, see, good. Now I can. So Michael Kittle should get his today. I sold him my 1/10, and yeah, those are beautiful. I had a tough time with that one. I really did.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning here, and I got to get up in the morning. So
okay, see, Monkey. I'll probably see you on Ida.
No, that was Robert, wasn't it?
Oh, Robert. Oh, okay, Robert. Sorry.
have a good night, Robert.
Have a good night.
Thanks for joining us, man.
I got to head to work in about a half an hour.
Ew.
Yeah.
yeah, got to get up in about 6. I need to go to bed.
Yeah, I go to bed after Ida's show, so
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, it's 4 in
Yeah,
the morning.
but I am on the enrollment for the ASE S proof. I think tomorrow it releases, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I
so
should be getting
that one
4.
I'm gonna keep. That one I'm gonna keep. I want one of the type 2 reverses. So I decided that it was gonna be the S that I was gonna keep. So
Well, I think it's a lower mintage. Am I right?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's 200,000.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So that's a
pretty.
good
Oh
choice.
gosh, I love that eagle head. Oh, I really like that. I really like that.
This is most likely a proof 69, in my opinion. So I'm not going to get it graded. I have
It's a
8
little
vouchers.
heavier on one side on the rim, huh?
Yeah. The reverse is much better than the obverse, in my opinion. But I'm getting really picky, Paula. You should be
Good.
proud. You train me
I am
well.
proud. I am proud.
You know, but it's still a beautiful design. I love this eagle.
You know, John Ruck, one of the guys on the panel just got an email today that they canceled his order.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it had been, huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. It had been showing pending this entire time, and then finally today, he got an email that they canceled it.
I was gonna say I had nothing, but it's not true because I do have something in front of me. I was gonna say I have nothing to show.
Show your face.
But look what I have here. What?
Is that a small date or a large date? Joe Sharp.
Oh, just look at it.
Would you look at it? Would you
look
just
at it. Do it. Look at it.
That is a small date over a large date.
Yes.
I can see the RPM. That's a good one.
Look at that. Look at that RPM, baby.
That's a good one. Carrie Baxter, did you send me something from George, Missy? I think he told me that I had something coming from you, little miss.
But
if then you did, that was awfully sweet of you. I don't know what it is, but I don't care. Joe knows how I am about stuff like that. I get very mushy.
That it was beautiful. I mean, I'm sorry, but that was only an AU-58.
Look, there ain't nothing wrong with an AU-58. That means that it is a perfect about circulated coin. So I would rather have an AU-58 than a low MS. So
this is a 64.
About the camel toe, Carrie. Wasn't that funny? We're going to talk about that on Monday. It's a what?
Do you see it?
I see it.
I briefly heard something about camel toe earlier.
That's a handsome feller. Oh my gosh, Joe Sharp. You have 2 of those? I don't have any.
I don't know why I love these so much.
Because they're fantastic. Because they're fantastic. That's why you do. Says you will be charged order being prepared for shipment. Ugh, I hope I get it. Okay, John. I hope you get it too, because that really sucked for him. He was pretty upset about that. I know. George sent me an email asking for my address, and then he said, and you have something coming from Carrie Baxter. I'm like, I do? So That was that touched my heart, Carrie. That's very sweet of you. I don't know what to say. Joe, you need to get in a little closer on that. I need to see that a little bit closer.
Oh, you think so?
I know, sir.
I could do that.
Yeah, did you I don't know if you know, Joe, but there are toonies, Canadian toonies.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that? The counterfeit ones?
No, I haven't heard about counterfeits.
Yes. George lost $200 in because of the counterfeit toonies. They're calling them the camel toes because the polar bear has a camel toe.
Jeez.
It's true. I'm not making it up. Oh man, that is a beautiful specimen right there. Look at that. Would you just look at it?
Just look at it.
John,
Take a second.
Camel toe.
This is a PCGS MS64.
Donut for an O.
That's beautiful.
I know. A lot of people on my channel don't like the copper, and I don't know why, because some of these varieties are amaze balls.
Because
This
we all
is the
collect.
MS16.
Yeah, look at that. That's so nice. Because we all collect what we like, right?
That's true.
That's just
Here, let me
more
throw
for
one
us.
other up. That was Annex, and not PCGS, but here.
Whoa, look at that, Woody. Holy crap.
Giggity.
That's hot.
Let me go up.
That's okay,
Right.
Savvy Stacker. You don't have to like copper.
More copper for us.
Yeah.
This is a PCGS MS63 red brown.
Improper
1909.
Alex.
I prefer limited mintage stuff and like errors and varieties, but I have a little bit of just generic.
Oh, I collect some pretty goofy stuff. You wouldn't, yeah.
Like I've got a 1 pound copper bar, but I prefer like limited mintage rounds. I've got a Silver Shield copper round with a mintage of 1661.
Ooh.
I'm not big into the copper rounds, but I like things like Civil War tokens and store cards and so-called dollars.
Oh, I love Civil War tokens.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Elongated cents. I'm really big into the elongateds, especially the old ones.
This one I don't know that much about.
Is this guess the date?
I know, right?
Guess the coin.
Yeah, flying eagles aren't my favorite. I like the patterns, the flying eagle pattern coins, but you know they're copper, so they're cool. I like the varieties on some of the flying eagles.
Here, let me see if I can put on here. This is English.
Yeah, it is. Look at that. He has no chin.
It looks like a balloon.
Try-
It looks like a balloon.
Handsome
Come on.
feller.
Focus.
Killing
Focus.
us. Hello.
It's used, obviously. It's a
Used-
chunky monkey.
Yes, it's well loved. Very cool. What are those? Like the size of a $50? No.
Yes.
Look at that. I like the trident.
$17.97.
Nice. Very cool.
That's my oldest coin.
Is it? That's so cool.
1797.
Britannia.
Yep. 2 pence.
Hello, Santiago.
Anyway, let me get rid of this screen.
Show your face. Show your
Bring
face.
it up here.
I don't know why I'm up right now. It's kind of upsetting.
Over.
But I'm glad you're on because that made me really happy. I was like, oh, Joe's still on because I watched you when you first came on.
So here.
I watched you when you first
I
came
get
on. You were sipping on your vodka and talking about the China virus. And China virus because it comes from China.
Vagina.
And then you were talking about silver and then you got off on like the market and
You were
stuff.
lurking the whole time.
I was lurking until you started talking about like smart stuff, and then I'm like, all right, I need to go to bed. I can't use my brain right now. I need to go to bed.
Things started getting smart, and she's all yawn. Okay, bedtime.
It was going way over my head. I'm like, I'm out of here. Dumb it down, Joe, or I'm leaving.
Yeah, it's about time to cut out myself.
Global warming from cow farts. That's right. It's all cow farts. All right, Joe. Hey, thanks for entertaining me for a few. Oh.
Thank you for coming up, Paula. You are a delight as always.
I missed your face, and send me some pictures of your vacay. I'm gonna keep bugging you.
I will.
Okay.
I will
All right,
indeed.
Sea Monkey. I'll probably see
Love
you
ya.
on Ido's.
Yep.
I'll probably still be awake.
I was gonna say get some sleep, but
I know. All right. Talk to you
Good
guys
night,
later.
Paula.
good night.
All right.
Bye.
Love you. Bye. Everybody, have a great night. Love you all. Be well. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I'll see you soon. Thank you for hanging
Have a
out.
great night, everyone. God bless. God bless.